What's up, True Heel Heat?
True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat. All hands on me.
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip-hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
Hello, everyone. It's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? This is your former AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Swerve Strickland. Whose house? Swerve's house. You're watching True Heel Heat podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. No, this is not AE Ramble. I just pressed the wrong drop. This is Rated Raw
Botching
Review.
like Jey Uso.
Rated Raw Review number 60. I am going to ruin wrestling discussing last night's Monday Night Raw. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Romeo's Twitter for another edition of our Tuesday afternoon delight. And of course, to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague, the number one Karrion Kross person that he follows, the number one president of the Liv Morgan fan club, the number one president of the Charlotte Flair fan club. You can see him trying to make narratives on the Wrestling Observer for Figure 4 online comment section. He is Mr. Romeo Anthony Colon. How are you doing, sir?
I thought I joined the wrong stream. I thought it was Thursday. I was like, "What? Did I click the right link? What's going on here?"
I think I was hoping that it was just a bad Dynamite that I watched last night, but no, it was just a mid episode of Monday Night Raw.
Man, you guys are being way too harsh in this episode. My goodness.
I mean, I'm not like, sir. You rated the premiere highly when no one agreed with you.
I did. It's a great casual show. Oh my goodness. The star power, the mega power.
I think you're incapable of criticizing WWE.
That's not true. I'm going to criticize them in this review.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
I do it all the time. What are you talking about? This
I don't know.
Gaslighting
sir.
right now.
I don't know.
What you're doing.
I don't know, sir. I don't know, sir. You've been very high on things that have been very mid and shitty this year.
I said, what did I say about the Jey Uso Gunther feud? I said it's been asked for a few weeks, but now, we are back.
And now you think it's great.
We are back. We are so back.
Welcome. I appreciate y'all for joining us live. I appreciate y'all for watching us on.
I am going to ruin True Heel Heat.
Yeah, you are. We appreciate y'all for joining us live here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook and Romeo's Twitter. Yes, we are here every Tuesday, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, quickly becoming the best Monday night review in the land, because we tend to not always agree on stuff, and I'm sure we're not going to agree on a couple of things from yesterday's episode. We appreciate y'all for joining us. Remember, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. As long as we can at the end shake hands like the code of honor. But we appreciate y'all. Show your appreciation back the simplest way possible. Drop the thumbs up on this video. You can also share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here. And of course, you can sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys. Hear your thoughts on the True Heel Heat on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. You can share your thoughts on us. You can share your thoughts on WWE Monday Night Raw from yesterday in Glasgow, Scotland. You can share your thoughts on the WrestleMania 41 build, which the general consensus is saying that a lot of people are just realizing how it hasn't been up to snuff. It hasn't been as good as last year. And some people think it's been very cold and mid and isn't connecting.
You compare it to last year. No. Yes, last year was better, but that we knew
WrestleMania 39. This is the weakest Triple H build to a WrestleMania that we've seen out of the 3 years.
Once you heard The Rock wasn't gonna be on the show, we sort of lowered our expectations, did we not?
So what you're saying is Triple H is usually propped up by other people. That's what I heard. Triple H is either propped up by Vince McMahon, by Ryan Ward, by The Rock as a booker. When he was wrestling, he was propped up by Shawn Michaels and DX and Evolution and Stephanie McMahon. And
it takes multiple people to tango. You can't just tango out there by yourself. You're always going to give credit to somebody else.
He doesn't. He takes all the credit. It's none of the blame. He's like a regular CEO of a multi-million-dollar company. He's a regular CEO. He takes all the credit, none of the blame.
His catchphrase is literally "what we do," not what I do. It's what I do. It's what I do. He doesn't say that. It's what I do. It's what I do. It's what we do. Then, now, together.
What's the name of this era, though? Because I heard
now that's a
bunch of
Michael
people-
Cole thing. That's a Cole thing. Cole is going out of his way to call it what he says. Michael, I don't know, Michael Cole.
This Michael
way
Cole.
too much
There's
ass.
no one talking in Michael Cole's ear. There's no one telling
That
Michael
is
Cole
all
to say
Cole,
this stuff.
bro.
No,
That is all Cole.
Not at all.
Triple H does not tell Cole to say that.
Sure. When was the last time we had a Hall of Fame headliner get multiple video packages on weekly television to hype up the Hall of Fame?
Hey, what a career! What a career! We gotta go through all of it. Listen, you're not gonna get past the SB3 hates Triple H or John Doe. You're just not. Not at all.
See, this is gaslighting. That's gaslighting.
Did I lie?
That's gaslighting. No, I'm just a Triple H truther. That's my
And this
role.
goes
It's
back
to say the
years.
truth.
This isn't anything.
It's to say the truth.
This goes back to when he was a wrestler.
Yes, I've been saying the truth about Triple H for decades.
So when there's an opportunity to dig at him, to stab him, you're gonna pull out the shank and you're gonna shank him. Any chance you get. Any chance.
No, I'm just exposing him. He
Call
wants
it
to keep all
a synonym.
his dirt underneath his bed, and I'm just the one that's sweeping up the dirt and being like, "Hey guys, it was him. It was this guy. It was this guy." Because everybody wants to blame the fans. They want to blame Tiffany Stratton. They want to blame Jey Uso, but it's the guy who's booking all of this who's the real issue here. But I'm the bad guy. I have an agenda against him. I have allegations against him, apparently.
You're not gonna blame Triple H for Tiffany Stratton being ass on the microphone. That is one thing.
Why
Why
would you put someone like that in a sink or swim position?
They do that to a lot of talents. Go out there and prove it.
Who have they done that
in
to
NXT all the
in the
time.
build to? Who have they done that to in the build to a WrestleMania World Title match?
They put everybody in a split screen with Charlotte Flair. This is what Charlotte Flair does. She kills people on the microphone.
Have they put in a sink or swim situation on a World Title match for a WrestleMania?
I don't know. I have a bad memory.
Exactly. Go do all your research. But we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Of course, sound off in the live chat. We love to interact with all of you guys. Hear your thoughts on last night's Monday Night Raw. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to get back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to contributors that you see on screen with us here, and we always appreciate the support. We got in the chat our good brother chilling with Chase Oliver is here. Thank you so much, Chase, for the support. He says, what a soulless episode by Triple H here. Spoiler, thumbs down for me, and the most 4 out of 10 show I've ever seen. That's very appropriate because Bret Hart usually rates Triple H 4 out of 10.
Who rates 4 out of 10? Bret Hart. Explain.
Yeah, you never heard Bret Hart talk about he thinks that Triple H is a 4 out of 10 wrestler?
No.
Yeah.
I've never heard that.
Yeah.
But Chase, this is a bit much, Chase. You're very miserable today. Like, come on, this is way too much. 4 out of 10? Come on. 4 out of 10? Oof.
I mean, he's not wrong. I don't think I'm gonna grade it that harshly, but he's not wrong.
There's plenty of soul. There's El Grande Americano. There's your soul. What are you talking about?
That's the only good thing
on
this show.
So he wrote a lie in that super. Thank you.
The only good thing on that show, and it is definitely got MAGA coding on it.
Hey,
we got
all you blue sky, cry it up.
We got Tefet in the chat who says, "Sup everyone, the show was mid as fuck." We also got I Make Beats in the chat who says, "Hello everyone, hope y'all are doing good." We got Eric Isaac, and literally Eric Isaac is one of our most positive people when it comes to any form of wrestling. It could be WWE, AEW. I respect Eric Isaac because he usually recaps the show and sometimes doesn't even put his opinion in it. But he literally puts his first comment is the only highlights on the show were Usos back together and the greatest debut ever, El Grande Americano.
Those two together, it's not doesn't make it a 4 at all.
Yeah, it makes
Even
it a
those
5.
two alone.
5 out of 10.
But there was more than that. This is not true.
Okay. All in the Game says Cena can't keep cutting basically the same promo. This was the definition of a promo that was like, you're cheating on a test and be like, yo, here's my here's my answers. Just switch some of the answers up a bit.
He was different. He was different this time. I think last week was better, but he gave you his mission statement this week.
Yeah, but he literally negated the perfect story for him turning heel before that with his different version of the You People promo.
You can explain.
We got Vala B who says #1 Karrion Kross person follower. Yes, I'm very.
Maybe that's what's wrong with you guys. Is that you had no Karrion Kross, so like you felt like something was missing. Maybe that's what it was.
Might be onto something there. Vala B says it was boring talking about last night's show. We also got
people are miserable. Oh my goodness. Guys,
we also
get some positivity in your life today. Jesus.
Dude, you can't. This is gaslighting. If
you guys are miserable today for no reason.
If they think something is mid and boring and everybody's saying it and you don't agree, that doesn't make them miserable. That makes them actually giving their real feelings while you're trolling them.
I'm not trolling. If I agreed, I would agree. And we'd be out of here in 5 minutes.
We got Vala B who says, Romeo, your bias are pretty damn obvious, brother.
That's what you always think. What's your opinion matter?
It's very clear. We also got Chuck Berries with another super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says this super chat is for you holding Triple H accountable, just as Jimmy holds Tony Khan accountable. Yeah, I hold everybody accountable. I keep the same energy. I ripped Tony Khan a new one on our Revolution review when he made the choice to main event with Mox and Cope, just like I'm gonna rip Triple H a new one and I did on Saturday for this WrestleMania 41 build, feeling quite mid. We also got.
I'm trying to see what's the lowest rating I'd give in a Raw episode, and that was a 6.6. Back rated Raw review 55.
Exactly. That's outrageous. There have been episodes of Raw. There's been more than one that's below a 6. Most notably when they went to 2 hours and they were giving us mid shows for the first couple of weeks until they did Gunther versus Sammy, and then the first Raw on Netflix. That both of those are definitely below 6.
No. I haven't seen a Raw yet that's below a 6. I have not. 6 is the lowest it's been. SmackDowns get lower than 6. That's where you can start doing all this complaining you guys are doing when you talk about SmackDown.
No, SmackDown's been below a 5.
There you go. There we go. That's what you're talking about, not this. Exactly.
This might get it below 6.
Oh, no.
This was as bad as some of those 3-hour SmackDowns.
No,
because this was a lot of repeat. It was a lot of repeat from last week.
We'll talk about it.
Chuck Berries also says, "What's good, THH fam? Damn, SP3, are you flustered like Jey Uso was last night? LOL." Anyways, let's talk about it. I think I am. I was so not enthused with yesterday's Monday Night Raw that I think I'm here. This is where I'm at. We got Vala B says, which is fine, but be honest about it. He also says, hey, quote unquote, WWE is hotter than it's ever been.
What is this problem that people think I'm not being honest? I am. Hello, this is how I feel. This is not trolling. This is not gaslighting. This is how I tell you exactly how I feel. Okay, come on. What is this myth?
And
I want to get into arguments with SP3 on purpose. What? I don't want to. What do I? Why would I want to do that? Why? It'd be so much.
Yeah, you always try to play the victim when you argue with me
because
or debate with me.
Come back. You shoot squirrels with elephant guns is what you do.
I'm very passionate. I can't
control the passion.
I can't control the passion. Josh is in the chat joining us today. That's how you know what type of episode it was. Josh is in the chat. He says, Vala, it was very obvious last night too, over explaining bad angles.
Well,
as
sometimes
usual.
I have to explain things to Josh because he doesn't get the full context. He's just looking at it with one tunnel vision point of view. So sometimes I have to tell him the other stuff just in case he missed it, because I'm a good friend. I like to, lay it all out there for him just in case. He's probably, sometimes maybe he might be drawing during an episode of Raw. He might not be noticing everything that's going on.
Wallaby, this might be your best comment ever. He said Romeo got a more toxic relationship with reality than Cena has with the fans.
I have no toxicity. I'm one of the most positive people you'll ever meet. Ever. There's no toxicity. Toxicity.
Yeah, sometimes.
I don't have gray hair.
Your positivity ignores reality. That's what he's trying to say.
I don't have gray hair. If I had gray hairs, I'd be toxic. I don't. Jey Uso got gray hairs. He's stressed.
Big Man Dog says the best part of the show was the Cena Punk, the Cody Punk Ray 6-man tag, and it wasn't even on the show.
Guys, come on. By the way, let me just say this now because I don't think I'll have an opportunity. You're in Scotland. You don't use Drew McIntyre. I don't give a shit about the cross brand because they don't give a shit. They've never given a shit. So don't act like, oh, well, we want to keep the brand separate. I don't care. Drew's getting cheered in these places anyway. So don't say he's a heel. That don't work either. Like if I bought a pay and take it, I can't even see Drew in like a dark match. What? My own guy in a dark match. I'm just saying a dark match. I can't get Drew McIntyre, the home country guy. What are we doing?
That's crazy. That's kind of crazy. It is. We also got Big Man Dogs. He says current main roster feels like it's made of people to 50% pay attention to, while else you look at your phone. The stalling for time, drone footage, dragging things out is insane. And Big Man Dogs is usually a lot more positive with WWE than he is with
He
AEW.
is not. I see him all the time, every week here. He's got something negative to say. Do not stand up for Big Man Dogs at all.
I'm going to stand up for my boy, Big Man Dogs. Big Man Dogs.
If we send a super chat, maybe. Didn't send a super chat, not standing up. Sorry.
We got a super chat donation here from the good brother Will Chisholm. Good to see you today, Will, in the chat. He says Charlotte doesn't feel like she wants to work Bianca, but they making me working Tiffany to get think she's replacing me. Watch this promo. LOL.
Hey, You're the world champion. You better step your game up. The queen is not going to lower her game to be where you are. You need to step up your game as the champion. That's all I got to say about that.
So, unlike the real GOAT, Becky Lynch, she can't raise up her competition to her level. I see why Charlotte's number 2 and not number 1 on Sports Illustrated.
Charlotte Flair made Rhea Ripley. Made her. Made her.
With a match, not the builds. Both builds suck. With the match at 39, I'll give you, it solidified Rhea Ripley, not made, because she was already made with the Judgment Day.
And the first step of that was beating her ass at WrestleMania, just like she's going to beat Tiffany Stratton's ass at WrestleMania. And then maybe in a couple of years, the young pup Tiffany will be able to bark a bit.
She'll turn her hair black and join up with the group. We got another super chat donation from Chillin' with Jace. You guys are awesome so far today. Appreciate y'all for the support. He says, I can disagree with Romeo just fine. Great guy overall. I do agree. Romeo is great. I get annoyed with him when I have to argue or debate with him, but I do love him.
I get annoyed with you.
Sometimes when he plays victim, I have to message him and be like, I love you, right?
You shoot squirrels with elephant guns. You don't.
Where's my squirrel gun? Where's
my squirrel gun?
You're not a squirrel.
I'm an elephant.
You're not a
really?
squirrel.
I'm an elephant.
Yes, you
I'm
are an elephant.
Somewhere between a squirrel and an elephant. Somewhere between.
You were not a squirrel.
I'm a tiger. I'm a tiger.
To see if we can find some balance in what we're going to talk about
balance
today.
still. This is just going to make things worse.
We got the third member of our team that's been here on Rated Raw Review, especially for the European tour. The one and only top guy JJ is here. How are you doing? We're up to a smashing start. I don't know if you watched the first 25 minutes.
I apologize. I was actually on an emergency work call, so I had to take that. No, so I haven't unfortunately seen like the first 20 minutes or so. But as soon as I load the screen, I just hear SP shooting squirrels with elephant guns. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Apparently, Romeo is a squirrel. Romeo's a squirrel.
You are not a damn squirrel.
I said I'm somewhere in between a squirrel and an elephant.
It's like a fucking rhino.
Exactly.
I'll be a rhino. I'll be a rhino.
I mean, he's poking you, and then he gets mad when I shoot him with the elephant.
Yo, wait. Are you trying to play victim in something?
Yes.
King Troll,
SB3.
the king of trolls.
Well, JJ, you know this better than anyone because you could be the same way.
Oh, I don't claim victim for shit. I'll just
No.
say
I don't say victim. I'm not saying victim. It's like when you're having a debate with someone.
Oh yeah.
And then it just escalates to the point of, where you're getting a little rude.
Well, to be fair, Romeo, you have to realize the first person I did podcast with is him.
Exactly.
So that's the energy that I bring to every debate on a podcast.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, right? So we have been doing this for what almost 8-9 years now, almost
going on 8 years in August.
Going on 8 years.
Longer?
You best believe there was an episode or two where I wanted to fight SP3. But that's what passion, debate, and doing a show that you're gonna disagree with shit happens. That's gonna happen. But it's all love at the end of the day, because at the end of the day, so what made me simplify it all is that we are literally talking about wrestling. Like, I'm not over here talking about, yo, my girl looks better than yours, or like my kids are prettier than yours, or yo, I seen her walking up the other day, yo, she was looking like she was used goods or some, you know what I'm saying? Like, never will ever go there. Like, you know what I mean? But if I think what the fuck is No Chin's name? What the fuck No Chin? James Ellsworth. If I'm like, yo, he was the next up and comer, and I just argue with no shit to my core, you just either got to take it as knowing I'm trolling or I'm just dumb as fuck as a wrestling fan.
Exactly. It's wrestling at the end of the day.
If it's Charlotte throne you are standing on, you need to die on that Charlotte throne, on that Charlotte Hill.
What a plot twist. He brought balance.
He did. See?
Regardless of the fact, no matter how shitty this WrestleMania build has been for her, this has been absolutely probably her worst WrestleMania build. But listen, that's the hill you got to die on.
Yeah. You know, it is what it is. We got one more super chat donation, then we can finally get into things since JJ's here now. We got LeVay Carter who says this episode is going to be epic. What's up, bros? Thank you, LeVay, for joining us today. Good to see you. I haven't seen you in the chat in a couple of streams, so I appreciate seeing you, good brother. But yes, we're going to get into yesterday's Monday Night Raw. It seems like the chat is more on my line of thinking here. Romeo says that we're too miserable because we weren't enthused with yesterday's Raw. Kind of give us your overall thoughts since me and Romeo have kind of shared ours on yesterday's show. JJ.
Raw to me was pretty whack. Like I'm not like to just. Like it was okay, average at best. Usually, I don't know. I think they need to make John Cena and Cody Rhodes close the show because the expectations are just too high once they come out in that first 20 to 25 minutes. Like you can only go down from there. Like you could legitimately only go down from there. Like there's no higher part of the show. Like everybody's waiting to see what John Cena and Cody Rhodes does, and after that, it's this felt like a 30-minute show with an hour and whatever 50 minutes of filler. Like this was one of, just my opinion. I don't know what we're gonna rate it later, but in my opinion, this was one of the worst episodes of Raw on Netflix.
I can't argue with you. Like I said, I don't think I'm as low as like Chase put earlier. He gives it like a 4 out of 10. But I watched, this was one of the first episodes of Monday Night Raw that I watched with my missus. And my missus hasn't really been watching wrestling all that much.
Bad episode to watch with her.
And that's what she basically said. Like her overall thought at the end of the show, I was like, what did you think about the show? She was like, I feel bad for the people in Scotland that paid all that money for that show.
Yeah, it wasn't good. That's like, it wasn't a good show. I'm like, sorry, it wasn't a good show. It just wasn't. Like it wasn't terrible, like by any stretch. It wasn't a terrible show, but it also wasn't good. It was literally shit on your TV that happened for 2.5 hours, and you move on with your life. It's not going to be that. This is the worst version of Monday Night Raw. Is that it wasn't bad to the point that we could shit on it for 2 hours and have fun with it, and it wasn't great where we could glaze over it for 2 hours and like it's just right here in the middle. Like it's like literally we could cover this entire show in 25 minutes and be done.
Yeah.
There was nothing to take home
because a lot of the things we're going to discuss happened last week. Better than this week. Like it's me. This is the worst type of AAA show. This is what I said before. His form of long-term booking, long-term storytelling is doing the same story beat over and over and over again. And this was basically, hey, let me see your homework from last week. I'll just switch up the answers a little bit and I'll give it in.
Now, I'm just gonna add, wouldn't last night's ending made a whole lot more fucking sense if Finn Balor actually won the title?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, your mistake is that you put Finn and win in the same sentence.
But
that's your mistake.
We've already established that last time. I've already established that hashtag Josh is right. We've already established that. But literally, it should have been reversed. Like, you want to try to make him look strong leading to his championship match, and then the match happens. The nigga loses the championship match, and then closes it so strong that no one gives a fuck about.
Yeah, I haven't.
Scotland was.
Yo, I have not heard a European crowd that quiet in quite some time.
They must have really been like, "This is it. This is it." Sucks.
We got Vala B who sends a message. He's been a member for 21 months. He's 3 months away from 2 years as a member of the channel. Vala B, one of our longtime supporters. He says, I'm tapped out after the toxic line. That toxic line. I already enjoy the review more than the episode anyway. And this is why we're here, guys. We're here to entertain you, even if yesterday did. We appreciate those words, Vala B. Thank you so much.
I mean, what did y'all? Because I didn't see what y'all thought of it. Because I don't know what y'all said about the show at all. But what did y'all, like, just in the quick vacuum, think of it?
Romeo?
There's some things I enjoyed on last night's Raw. I think people are being a little dramatic and saying that, nothing was enjoyable. Everything's the same. This was a terrible show. I think people are being a bit dramatic. I think when I finished last night, it wasn't like I just saw the worst Raw on Netflix era.
But I just said
I didn't get that feeling. I felt this way about several other Raws, but it's not like I was like, oh, that's the worst. I didn't have that feeling.
Yeah, I said the same thing though. This is the worst type of Raw. Is that it wasn't the best or it wasn't the worst. It was so average that you could literally just move on to next week.
I think the Netflix premiere is like the benchmark for a bad Raw episode on Netflix, but this is like as close as it's been since that premiere episode to like I
No,
said,
no,
like
this was
I
way
do
worse. This was way worse.
I don't
You
know
had a
about that.
Roman Reigns match. You at least had a CM Punk Seth Rollins match.
That's
You
true.
had the dick
That's
on
true.
the table with everybody and their mama coming out. At least you had something to remember. Like, I swear to God,
But
you ask
but
about this
this is
episode a month later, you're not going to remember a fucking thing from this show.
I'll give
Except John Cena.
I'll give JJ this. This is the worst type of Triple H show because, like I said with the Netflix premiere, that was Triple H trying to book like Vince McMahon. That wasn't Triple H booking like Triple H. This is Triple H booking like Triple H, but the worst kind of a Triple H produced show. But let's get into it. We started off the show. We see CM Punk, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio, Penta, and Bron Breakker all arriving at the building. Penta and Punk got the biggest reactions out of those when we saw them walking into the building. Pat McAfee is back on commentary with Cole this week. And of course, we're going to kick off Monday Night Raw the same exact way we kicked off the week prior with John Cena. Cena comes out to loud boos from the fans in Glasgow, Scotland. He knew the crowd was ready to do their worst because he turned the spotlight on them last week. They knew that he could pick them out individually and rip them to shreds. No one was safe, not even that clueless kid from last week. His poor, pathetic face was everywhere. WWE even posted it, and the fans all loved it. The crowd responds by chanting "Fuck you, Cena," which was tried to be censored, but they horribly censored that, where they couldn't even get it on cue. Cena says that Cena said he would tell the truth, while the best idea the fans had was to use profanity. They memed a defenseless kid getting destroyed. So he didn't need to single out anyone tonight because they were all horrible people. Instead, they would all pay for the abuse they put him through. He listened to their lies and their noise for 25 years. He didn't waste time being mean like them. He just paid attention. The fans at this point are chanting, "Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up." He said that he has been learning from the fans and testing them all this time. This has been an experiment this entire time. They told him everything about themselves, but they didn't know anything about him. He says that their lives were sad. This, being the fans, was the best it would get for them. But they have been nothing but an experiment for him. Rats in a cage, pick out any moment in his career, and he can tell them what he learned about them. When he bled, they thought he was tough. When he spoke, they were inspired. When he was edgy, they were excited. When he was vanilla, they were bored. When he spoke in rhythmic tones, they said "what" when they indeed chanted "what" at this very moment, proving him right once again.
Dummies in the crowd.
Fickle, mother. Fickle.
They would always tell him everything about themselves because they wanted so desperately to matter. The most important thing that they told him was in April of 2005 when he gave them the WWE Spinner Championship. And what did they do? They ate him alive for it. He turned their belt into a toy, they said. And they didn't like that because the championship wasn't a toy. He disrespected tradition. That was the biggest mistake they made. They told him what meant most to them. And now that he knew that, he was going to ruin wrestling. He was going to ruin wrestling for every fan, wrestler, for everyone. At WrestleMania, he would make history by winning a 17 championship. He would force them to forget about the fun machine, the limousine riding, jet flying Ric Flair, and they would forever say the name John Cena. Even worse, he would win the title, the center of every superstar and fan in this business, and he would retire with it. He says, I'm taking it home with me. He was leaving them to make a brand new toy belt because the real one was coming home with him. I will be the last real champion in WWE. Revenge is best served cold, and I pay you back by ripping your heart out and forcing you to watch as I just walk away with your memories, with your traditions, with your dreams, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. At this point, this brought out his opponent for WrestleMania 41, Cody Rhodes. The fans sang Cody's name after his music stopped. Rhodes told Cena he couldn't take the belt away from the fans because he can't do that without taking it from him first. Rhodes can see that Cena was being sincere, unlike what he thought last week. Cena was angry and dangerous. This might be the most dangerous John Cena he's ever met. The mistake was not that Cena hit him with the belt. He made a massive mistake by saying what he just said to these fans with him in the building. Rhodes said that Cena should know how hard he had to fight just to hold this belt one time. Cena thought that the timeline of professional wrestling hung in the balance because of his own vanity. Rhodes laid the belt down and told Cena he could try taking it right now. Cena acted for a moment like he might fight Rhodes, but instead he turned around and walked away. Rhodes told Cena that his psychotic need to take the belt did not outweigh theirs, the fans and Cody, and their need to keep it. The champ was not standing out there. The champ was standing in the middle of the ring, while Cena was walking away empty-handed, and that is exactly how Cena would walk away from WrestleMania. And that is how Cena will walk away from the WWE. Cody's music hits as Cena walks out of the building. And that was all for this week. We did get the graphic later on in the show. For the third straight week, just a different version of what we've seen. Last week was Cody Rhodes and John Cena under one roof. This week was Cody Rhodes and John Cena live. Next week, Cody Rhodes and John Cena face to face
in London. That'll be electric too.
That will be an electric crowd. I just want to say the Cena portion of this, his delivery, the way he's going about this character, I think is good. I just don't like the context of this promo this week. I think that when John Cena turned heel at Elimination Chamber, we all were like, okay, the story writes itself. Cena's on his last legs. He's on his farewell tour. He's not the strongest anymore. He's not the best anymore. Now he's desperate. He's desperate because he hasn't won in 4 years. He wants to win the last 17 championship. That's why he's going to sell his soul to The Rock. That's why he's going to turn on all of his morals and turn on the fans and turn on Cody, because he wants his name etched in history as the greatest champion of all time to get number 17. And then he basically just washed away all that story in this promo here, because he literally told us, the heel turn told us John Cena is now heel for the first time in 20 years. Just a white whale of pro wrestling. We're finally getting it. And in this single promo, he told us that he's always been heel. He said that all this time he's been basically playing an experiment on the fans, that he's always been heel and that he's just been trying to figure out how to screw over the fans at the end of his career. Like, even when you first turn babyface, all this is you basically have washed this away and you've kind of turned around the narrative here. I think the second half of the promo where he gave us his mission statement and his kind of fuck you to the fans is to take the title in his version of the summer of Cena or the summer of Punk. I think that's a good direction to go, but the first half of this promo very much negates that. And also, dude, you literally were a part of the summer of Punk storyline. What happened when Punk tried to leave with the title? They just did a tournament the next night and just washed it away and just crowned you the champion the next week. And literally, if you don't know John Cena, there's another world title. If you leave with that one, they'll just make this one the number one title. No, he didn't mention the World Heavyweight Championship.
No,
he said he's walking away with the champion. He said you make a brand new toy belt. There already is a world championship. They don't have to make a brand new toy belt.
They would make another title though, because they have two brands.
They always do. Of course they would, but there's already a world title. Even if they don't want to make a new toy belt, you could just make that one the number one title. So a lot of these promises and a lot of this direction that they're going, it doesn't make too much sense if you think about it for more than a second. So this wasn't his most effective promo. I like the You People promo that he did last week because it was new. It was different. Then he tried to give us basically the Jaws 2 or the Scream 2 version of that promo in the first half, and he negated some of the power of the heel turn by saying that he's always been heel instead of he's heel for the first time. I think that is the reason why a lot of people were first engaged in this whole story. And also, you kind of mentioned it last week, Romeo, with Cody. Cody, you got fucked up. So I understood, okay, last week you said, this is not the John Cena that I want to fight. You need to find the real John Cena. This week you're telling us this is the new John Cena. So why the fuck you didn't slap him? Why are you challenging him to fight him? Why are you not showing that fighter and fighting or fire in physicality? This felt like a miss. This was the first miss for me. I thought last week was really well done. This felt like a miss. It did not hit at the same level as the week prior, even though I know there's some people that actually enjoyed this promo more than last week, but I wasn't one of them. Romeo?
I would say last week's promo was better. I agree with that portion. That being said, I still did enjoy this week, though. I did enjoy it. I did enjoy John Cena here. I did enjoy Cody Rhodes. I like Cena's mission statement. I like making it, trying to turn it into like the summer of Punk, make it the summer of Cena. I like him. It was very bad guy of him to threaten to take the title, go home. And that Ric Flair name drop. Oh man, that's got me thinking he might be involved somehow now. He might take a bump or something during this match, something like that. Cena wins 17. I enjoyed. The only thing is that next week, this is the last advertised Cena appearance. I think he makes another one that's unadvertised. There's 3 episodes left, so you got next week. I think he makes another one, a surprise one. But if it's only next week, sheesh, what the hell? That's it. Like next week, if that's the last Cena one, things better get physical, and you gotta change up the formula here. You don't do the same thing. Cena opens the show, Cody comes out. You have to change it up next week somehow, whether it's the end of the night.
And we have to get Cody an actual promo exchange. They have not done a promo exchange. They've done
face to face. I think that's what they're advertising now.
a 10-minute, 20-minute promo, and then Cody responds, and then Cena leaves or Cody leaves.
Yeah, they got to go bar for bar, like we know they can. That has to be next week, and then they got to get physical too. Because if this is the last appearance, you got to pick shit up. Go ahead, JJ.
It was a good promo. It was good. I enjoyed it for what it was. But I'm gonna say this: if that was anybody other than John Cena delivering that promo, that shit would have been terrible. John Cena makes it good because of how he emphasizes and how he delivers things. But you take B wrestler and have B wrestler say those exact same words, literally word for word, doesn't even hit home. But John Cena at least has the cachet to make it like viable. And I thought I would have seen a little bit more of an angrier John Cena yesterday. Like, because obviously last week he was hurt. He felt betrayed. He felt like he was at the end of the abusive relationship and it's time for him. He cut ties. This one, he should have been a little bit more hot. Like he's still too much on the I'm using you as like toys and like that it kind of like hit repeat. And it was almost making me kind of like question what are they thinking week to week, because they only have one or two more of these to go. So they have more than likely it's going to be two. Like there's no way John Cena cannot be at the go home show to WrestleMania. Like you gotta go, you gotta be at that one. Like
I think he surprises at the Chicago show, whichever one that was.
After the 3 back-to-back weeks, yeah, let it breathe, let it marinate, let people put clips and create the vignettes for the next like week or two. But you got to be at that go home show. Like you got to be at that go home show, because right now, like we can't have one more week of this and then just have 3 weeks to WrestleMania, and that's the entire build. Like not having no mention of The Rock, not having no mention of Travis Scott. Like how the fuck did you just get your ass handed to you, Cody Rhodes? Handed to you. You got your ass beat. And you as cool as a cucumber. Whoa! Like, bruh, did you not remember you just got... Where was the same energy at when The Rock beat your ass in the parking lot, strapped you, made you bleed, fucking... You came out in Brooklyn literally the very next week, battered, bruised, ready to fight.
He did.
Where's that same energy? Where's that same energy? Like you over here trying to dissect who John Cena is. You should be trying to fuck up John Cena at this point. Like, dude, receipts need to be given for what happened to you. Like, nigga, your black eye just went away. Like, I'm just...
He basically said that John Cena's words means more than him beating him up at Elimination Chamber. That's what Cody said in his promo.
And that is okay for a week. But you got to get your get back. Like, where's your get back? Where's your hostility? Why are you not more upset? Like, you're trying to pick the man apart. Like, this was not the best Cody Rhodes piece to me either, because Cody Rhodes is still trying to figure out John Cena. What the fuck you trying to figure out for him? That man beat your ass vividly. Took the Rolex watch that was a gift from Dusty Rhodes and bashed you in the fucking eye with it and gave you that black eye. Why are you not more upset, bro? Like, it's just kind of baffling to me that you have just essentially let this slide. And you're just looking forward to embarrassing him in a wrestling match at WrestleMania. Nigga, what happened to you at fucking Elimination Chamber was not a wrestling match. That was a statement.
Like, that was a mugging.
So, you know what I'm like? Where's your statement? Like, you've said about 4 lines since this whole thing with John Cena over 2 weeks. Like, we need, it's to the point now. So we're still got weeks, but literally maybe 1 to 2 more appearances of John Cena. Like, bro, a statement needs to be made at some point. Like, a statement needs to be made. And I thought there would have been a much more angrier version of John Cena. And I thought there would have been a much more hostile version of Cody Rhodes. But we got neither. Like, we still got, like, Cena essentially, like, you know, when you are going through a breakup, you go through that sad, hurtful part. And then the part that no one gives a fuck about, the part that no one talks about or cares about, is that analytical breakdown. Like, no one gives a fuck about the end. They don't want to see what happened and what the results are. Like, what are the results? We still have yet to know what the results are. from this breakup. Like, I it hit home, but I was just like, it now they need to amp it up. That shit was at like a 4 yesterday. Like, as far as like animosity level, that shit needs to kick up to a 9 or 10 next week. Like that shit needs to kick all the way up, especially if John Cena is going to take the next couple weeks off.
I think what we're all saying is there's two main problems with the Cody and Cena thing right now. Is one, The Rock, and it feels like WWE doesn't know if The Rock will be back before WrestleMania, and if they can even mention him being such an important factor in how this whole thing started. And two, there is no rivalry between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. The rivalry is John Cena versus the fans with Cody as the proxy, and that is not as interesting of a story as Cody trying to take the mantle. He said it way before even a thought of WWE was for John Cena to turn heel, is that he was taking on the John Cena schedule, that he was the babyface that John Cena really always wanted to believe. He's a white meat babyface who is beloved by the fans, who doesn't have a toxic relationship with the fans. Cena should see everything that he could have been in Cody Rhodes and have that animosity toward him. And we've had 2 promos where he's spent most of his time trying to take down the fans, and there's no match that's going to happen between Cena and the fans. The match is Cena versus Cody, and I think that he should have went in that direction outside of just giving your proclamation that you want number 17 to say fuck you to the fans. You needed to also explain your animosity and why you turned on Cody Rhodes. Even if you don't want to give the why of why you aligned with The Rock, why you sold your soul to The Rock, tell us why you turned on Cody Rhodes. You told us why you turned on the fans last week. Tell us why you turned on Cody Rhodes this week. And
your point is like spot on, because essentially what John Cena is doing is completely looking over his WrestleMania opponent. He had 50 minutes of promos over the last 2 weeks. Not one word about Cody Rhodes. Not a word of it was on Cody Rhodes. Why? Like, this is who you're going after. This is who you're fighting at WrestleMania. So he's already like claiming to be number 17, but nigga, you have an opponent. Like, you have an opponent, which happens to be the biggest star in the company, which happens to be number 1 merch seller of the company, which happens to be the most over guy in the entire company, which also happens to be the guy that's held the championship for the last 300 plus days. So I think what everyone could kind of come together and like, yes, Cena, you're mad at the people. We get it. Like, we understand. But you have a match in 4 weeks that we need to understand what the fuck your intentions are. Like,
we understand that's why you want the title. We don't understand why it's against Cody.
I like that Cody acknowledged that when he came out. He's like, "You talking about taking the title away from the fans? What do you think? You got to take it from me first?" I love that line from Cody last night. But Cena's being a dick. Cena's going after the fans first.
Yeah,
he wants the fans to boo him and hate him. He's making sure that's taken care of. Like, he's being a heel. Cody's like, "You're not fighting the fans. You're fighting me. You got to take it from me." Well, next week they got to go. Like JJ said, they got to elevate the intensity. They gotta attack each other, and I think they gotta physically attack each other too after. Who knows if they get another chance before maybe.
Friction between the two. Them two is who we're watching on April 20th. Those are the two we're watching. We're not watching John Cena pick up a mic and go after fans on April 20th. We're seeing him fight Cody Rhodes. Like, I still haven't got it on TV, on screen, to understand why now, why him. What is your purpose for Cody Rhodes and at Cody Rhodes? Like, yes, you're hurt. We now it's like, yeah, we get it now. You're hurt. You're hurt. You've been in an abusive relationship. You've experimented on for 20 years. That's cool. That's cool. Just hope that next week we are done with that. We are done with that. Like, you can attack them for a minute or two, but realize you have an opponent in 4 weeks because you haven't said a word about that man yet.
We got another super chat donation from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. He says this is a classic case of the sequel not being better than the original, in my opinion. Promo was copy and paste from last week, and it fell flat to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Right.
I 100% agree with that. If it wasn't John Cena that had that microphone and delivered it the way John Cena can, this promo would have been ass. Like that, I stand by that. I'm sorry. If you fucking give that shit and have Austin Theory say those exact words, that shit would have been ass.
Yeah.
Not to stray Austin Theory, but just example of another performer.
True. But we'll see. They got another week. We'll see what happens on next week's Monday Night Raw, and we'll be here to discuss it. And hopefully, we said it last week that they needed to switch it up, and this week they should have closed the show. They desperately need to close the show next week,
man. Like, because it sets Raw up for failure to a degree. It sets them up. Like, the crowd is at the hottest point. And it's like they got to make themselves energized for the rest of the show because everything else that they're going to get is not going to be to the level of that. You can't give them the WrestleMania main event fucking 3 weeks in a row to open the show.
Yeah. It's true.
Cena's got to leave Cody lay-in next week. Then the Raw. Needs that Rock Cody moment from last year. Like, look at you now, boy. Being him backstage.
Well, Cody needs to get his get back, even if it's in a failed attempt. Cody needs to get a get back. Cody has not laid a finger on that man yet.
Yeah,
you could do it. You could also do it the opposite way because Cena's winning that Mania. Like, let Cody get his licks now.
Yeah,
it's got to happen at some point. Like, Cena's got to realize he's got a fucking opponent. He's not fighting that kid from last week.
Spent more time talking about that kid than Cody.
Word.
I'll laugh if he brings out that kid again.
2 weeks in a
next
row,
week.
he has mentioned the child. He mentions a 12-year-old child. And
next week he's gonna say, "Remember that kid from 2 weeks ago? Remember?" He just makes it a point in every promo to bring up that kid.
like, bruh. Like, we like it. We're on for the ride. But come on, all right. Pick it the fuck up. Next week, we're going to be in fucking, oh my God, it's still fucking March. It's going to be the last day of March. Good Lord.
Yep. But
so the other two shows are Minneapolis and Sacramento. Cena's got to make an unadvertised appearance for one of them. Come on.
Sacramento. That's close.
I'm thinking the go-home show. I'm definitely thinking
that's Sacramento.
Yeah. There was a video package for our main event on the show, Bron Breakker versus Penta for the Intercontinental Championship. And then we go into our opening contest, which was Jey Uso and his mystery partner versus A-Town Down Under. Initially, Jey comes out alone, only to quickly be joined by his twin brother, Jimmy, in the aisle. Cole says,
"What are we doing? Oh my God."
Cole exclaimed, wait, look who's here, Jay's brother. He didn't even actually say that it's Jimmy Uso.
Jay's brother.
That was so poorly done. Oh my
Terrible.
God.
What are we
so
doing?
Poorly done.
I got so many complaints here just on this alone.
Yeah. Romeo, you could go first on that one for sure. But
so many complaints. We said this last week. If it was going to be Jimmy Uso, just announce the damn thing. Why does it have to be a mystery all the way up to Raw? No sense. Second of all, Jey Uso needs to come out through the crowd. He's the yeet man. He's got to do the yeet stuff. Third of all, if they're going to team up, where's the Usos theme? I want to hit down since day one-ish once again. They're the Usos. They have a theme.
For me right there. Yeah.
Why does Jimmy have to come out like a sidekick? Like, what the hell is that? Like, come on,
bro.
Man.
They should have hit the record scratch. They should have hit the record scratch on Jay's song and then go to the down
something.
Day one, and they can still do the yeet. You can still do the yeet to that. It's the same
same
song.
lyrics. Little different changes in the lyrics. It's the same shit.
There's still a break where they could have yeeted. Like, I hated everything about this whole introduction.
Joe Hendry.
Nigga,
Joe
they treated
Hendry.
Uso like a straight run-in. Like, they treated him like a fan.
Like a make.
Like, I'm happy to be here. Like, this nigga didn't just main event WrestleMania with that same man 2 years ago. Like,
Oh my god,
so bad. Like, damn.
It's such a letdown.
Damn.
And like Jimmy Uso coming out, and it's a letdown. Like what?
I said that it was going to be Jimmy Uso initially, but I said also they needed to announce that on SmackDown.
What is the point of Jay and Jimmy keeping it a secret? What's a surprise theory, Waller? Like what?
Bro, Jimmy barely got a reaction, bro. Like,
and I'm not even like you can. I like the fact what Romeo and JJ are complaining about is the presentation, because no, Annika, that's not the answer. Man said, Annika says, man, why don't they want to pay Joe Hendry? Joe Hendry was never an option. He was never an option. Joe Hendry just works all the fans all the time. So as soon as y'all saw it was in Scotland, he put out a little tweet to get y'all worked up. But that did nothing to help the Jey and Gunther storyline. It needed to be Jimmy Uso, but they just could have done it in so many other different ways.
Yes. Like you could even just pause and like play Jimmy's music, and that would have been fine too. But him coming out like a freaking mascot, it's like what? Terrible.
I'm just here to help my brother. Cole does say that this is the first time the Usos have teamed up, just the two of them, in over a year and a half, after teaming to face Roman Reigns, beating Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa back at Money in the Bank 2023 when Jey pinned Roman Reigns. And of course, they're going up against A-Town Down Under. A-Town Down Under took the heat on Jimmy early on when Theory made a blind tag and clocked him with a running forearm. After commercial break, Waller rolled into the ring to deliver a Samoan drop, to deliver his finisher. But Jimmy met him with a Samoan drop instead. That led to him making the hot tag to Jey. Cole somehow called that Samoan drop a sling blade by Waller, which I was like, man, Cole, why does your he's usually at like a 90, 91 overall, but he always goes down to like an 80 to 79 when he's next to Pat McAfee. It's like McAfee being so bad at his job puts down Cole as well. But
McAfee did correct him though. He did correct him.
I'll give McAfee carry it because he knew that wasn't a sling blade. Jey tagged in, but A-Town Down Under teamed up on him. Jimmy tagged back in. They hit Waller with the alley-oop. We get Jimmy hoisting up Waller into a spear by Jey. Then Theory comes in. He mixes a clothesline, and he's right in position for the 1D. Jimmy and Jey, they work really well together. I mean, this is the role that both of them should be in. Like, I feel like you have your best tag team in the company here in Jimmy and Jey, but Jey is so over that they're going with singles directions for both guys, when I think that they're both better as a tag team, because they were very energetic here and the fans loved seeing them back together. They pick up the victory with the 1D. Post-match, they are celebrating when Gunther comes in to try to break things up. Gunther knocked Jimmy off the top rope as he was celebrating, but Jey fought him off. He hits a super kick. Jey sets up for a spear, and he literally tripped and fell. They literally booked him to slip on purpose. Gunther tackles him down. He starts hammering away with him with some elbows, but Jimmy ran him off with a steel chair. Gunther laughed at Jey tripping, making fun of him as he was looking back at Jimmy and Jey in the ring. That would lead to later in the night we would revisit the Usos backstage as Jey sat alone in the back when Jimmy pulled up on him and sat next to him on the steps. Jimmy wondered what was going on with Jey the last few weeks. He could see Jey was in his own head. Jey hit dives perfectly for 15 years before last week. Last week's dive became a meme and a joke. Then he went out there tonight and he slipped. If he kept going like this, he wouldn't win at WrestleMania. Jey bluntly responded, he knew that. He says that he couldn't beat Gunther. He was 3-0 against him.
3-0.
He meant 0-3.
3-0.
Jimmy said that this Jey could not beat Gunther. Jimmy hyped him up and said that he needed to see the right-hand man, Jey Uso. The one who became main event, Jey Uso. The one who won the 2025 Men's Royal Rumble, Jey Uso. That's the Us that he needs. Jey says that he's right. Jimmy, though, sees that he sees Gunther is walking by, so he says, I got you. He calls Gunther's name as he's trying to walk by, and he tells him that he's got him next week, challenging him to a singles matchup. Gunther said, sure, and suggested that Jimmy doesn't slip and fall like his brother, which led to Jimmy slapping the shit out of Gunther. That slap was ridiculous. God
well
damn.
deserved.
Whole hand, bro.
Whole hand.
Bruh, that was all his Samoan ancestors in that slap.
Nigga slapped Gunther back to Austria. Oh my God.
Hey.
Like, look at his face.
He made him Walter again.
You already know.
Jesus.
You already know a red man meme is coming out of that.
Oh, they did. They did a red man meme, and red man retweeted it. Red man retweeted it and said, slap the shit out of him. And that was made official later on in the show. It will be Jimmy Uso one-on-one with the Ring General, the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther, next week in London, England. The match, like I said, I thought it was fun seeing the Usos back together, and they work well with each other, and they just seem like they are just way more comfortable as a tag team than they are when they're on their own as singles competitors. So I enjoyed that part. I am not with making Jey Uso mess ups a part of the story. I've said that the whole issue with this whole storyline is, one, they have made it feel very much mid-card. 2, this is a 4-week angle that they have to stretch out to 12 weeks, and Triple H is struggling at that. And 3, you have not presented Jey Uso as a credible threat to Gunther or a WrestleMania main eventer or a main eventer at all. So basically putting a big spotlight on his mess-ups, his real-life mess-ups, I don't think that's the right direction to go, because you're making Jey Uso a fucking loser. So then if he loses at WrestleMania, you've totally basically blown up the Royal Rumble win. The Royal Rumble win was for no reason. And if he wins at WrestleMania, then that lowers Gunther because he lost to a fucking loser who's a bad wrestler. I don't think this is the right direction to go for a storyline that was already struggling. Romeo, I know you feel differently, so go ahead.
I think you're confusing loser with like underdog. I think that's
no. He's a fucking loser.
Underdog.
He's a loser who can't do a spear. He can't run. He's not an underdog. The underdog is Bryan Danielson. Bryan Danielson is an underdog because he fights from underneath and he proves himself to be one of the best despite his stature. Jey Uso was an underdog for a lot of this. The way he won the Royal Rumble, the way he did his promo, the way Gunther beat him down, but he still wanted him at WrestleMania the first 4 weeks. That's underdog Jey Uso. This is a fucking loser who they're making a loser in storyline now.
No, I like this. This is getting better. You're blending reality with story. I like that, owning it. Jey Uso is at his best when he is mentally stressed. Let's be honest. The best Jey Usos we've gotten over the years is when he's going through it, is when he has migraines, is when he has headaches. And he's going through it right now. He's having confidence issues. I get it. it's okay for baby faces to be flawed, to be in their head, to have confidence issues. It's going to make the win all the more sweeter at WrestleMania to me. It is. He's going to come through. And this is going as planned, like as I brought it up. What did I say? I said they needed to get away from the Alpha Academy, the Wall of Theory, get away from that garbage, bring Jimmy Uso in, bring Jimmy Uso into the story. They did bring him into the story. He did. I said he needs to give a hype speech to Jey Uso. He needs to hype him up. He needs to help him get his confidence back. He delivered a hell of a hype speech last night. It was great. I love Jey Uso messing up again, saying the 0-3. I was like, this is fitting perfectly into the storyline. This guy's so stressed he can't even get the record right. Everything is going fine. The rest of the build from here to WrestleMania should write itself. I've said some of it. I've said Gunther needs to kill Jimmy Uso. He needs to kill him at some point before Mania. And I think maybe we get reintroduce Ludwig and do the tag match. Gunther and Ludwig versus the Usos. Why not? Do that. This should be easy to write after so many weeks of stalling. So many weeks. It started off hot. Then it was just weeks of stalling with the Alpha Academy and War Theory. Now the rest should write itself. This should not be difficult. I don't mind what they're doing here with Jey Uso. It's interesting. It's way more interesting than all the shit that was happening the last couple of weeks with the Alpha Academy and all this garbage. Now it's gonna get better.
JJ,
You know what? I'll give you props for you. I love your optimism. Like, I love it. I love it. Like, I genuinely love your optimism because we're getting it whether we want it or not at this point.
exactly.
like it's happening. It's booked. It's happening. It's taking place. I understand the idea of them turning what they're trying to do into a story of him messing. I get it because at least they've paid attention to it and they're trying to make something of it. This ain't it, cuz. This ain't it, cuz. Like, so we're gonna have somebody that we've already been questioning his wrestling abilities. We've already been dogging his in-ring work for the past 2 months. We've already been saying, and then the bell rings. And then the bell rings and you're gonna not fuck up? Like, why are you here, bro? Like, that slap should have been for Jey. Like that slap should have been for Jey because that shit needed to wake him the fuck up. Because this 6-7 weeks that we had with dealing with all the shenanigans and all the bullshit, he's been barely working. All his workout essentially is yeeting. And I don't. Is he even rehearsing his matches? Is he even, because these shits are getting sloppier and sloppier? Like, if y'all paid attention to any of these moves last night, the only moves that seemed to be executed finally was the fucking super kicks, which they do in their sleep. His did it in their mom's womb. His Samoan slaps when the punches or whatever. Samoan drop, sloppy as fuck. The enziguri kick, sloppy as fuck. The reverse into a Samoan, sloppy as fuck. Even the execution of the 1D was a little off. Like, it was watch it. I'm not making this shit up. It's on fucking Netflix.
I'll give you a Samoan drop. Not
on Netflix. Watch the shit. Like, so it's like the wrestling portion of what we are going to get at WrestleMania is projecting to be really bad. It's projecting to, and now we got the "you're fucking up" storyline to it. And now I'm gonna proudly wear that man's shirt on the night that he's wrestling and want him to win. I want the man to win the championship. But goddamn, this shit is tough to digest. like, come on, dude.
Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. And when it comes to the match at Mania, the actual match, you need to like make reference of this story you're telling in the match. Because if you remember, they did the reverse of this back in the Gunther Priest feud where Gunther was the one with the confidence issues, and Priest was owning him all the time. And then when the match happened, it was like, forget all that. Here's Gunther. He's back to his. And they didn't make any references to like Gunther losing his confidence in the actual match. So, like you need to do that in this match to tell the story of Jey Uso overcoming all that's everything in his head.
Miss me with that bullshit. He won the 2025 Royal Rumble.
He didn't pin nobody. He was just the last man in there. John Cena fell off.
Rumble out of he was number 20, which means
nice draw,
he outlasted CM Punk, Seth Rollins, John Cena, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles, and more of the crew. Logan Paul, Rey Mysterio, however many. Jey Uso won that shit.
He ain't pin him though. He got to pin Gunther. He can't just be the last man standing in the ring.
Yes, the issue is he has not pinned or beaten anyone on the WrestleMania.
You see why he's stressed.
Up his confidence. No, you need to build up his confidence, not the crisis of confidence. When we only have 3 episodes of Raw left. And
you got to tell the story.
You're not even giving him a crisis of confidence. You are telling us he is bad at wrestling. That's your big idea to fix the build to a World Heavyweight Championship matchup that some fans believe should main event WrestleMania. Is he's bad at wrestling.
So he's dealing with this on top of terrible booking at the same time. Because on top of that, name one good match or good win that he's had since winning the Royal Rumble. I'll wait.
Been fighting bums. He's been fighting mid-carders.
He's been fighting.
So on top of the bad booking, we're getting shitty execution. Like you're getting a crap sandwich with cement in the middle. And we are gonna take it, and I'm not sure you're gonna love it, but it's happening.
Make his confidence worse. Kill his brother in these upcoming weeks. Kill him. Make his confidence worse. That we're seriously doubting because there's not. We all know Jey Uso's gonna win, right? Let's add a little intrigue. Let's have him go through shit mentally. I like it.
You go through shit by having great matches and end up losing these matches. You go through shit by getting your ass handed to you by your WrestleMania opponent weekly.
That's been happening. Gunther's been choking out Jey.
Flipping over a fucking rope and fucking damn near killing yourself.
Let me tell you something.
And then not even being able to fucking nigga did the hacksaw Jim Duggan stance and all. And falls. and then he got his fucking brother telling him, yo, this ain't it, Oof. This ain't it. You've been doing this for 50. Like,
you trash, bro. That's what he told him. He basically said, like, you're trash.
Jimmy
bro.
was great. Jimmy was outstanding.
Yo, Jimmy was the best part of the entire sequence.
Yes, I was like, Jimmy was the best addition to this rivalry. But it's not Jey Uso fucking up. Is the good addition to this story. What the fuck are we doing? What the actual fuck are we doing?
Let me tell you something.
Because this would have been a good week if you don't have Jey purposely slip. Purposely. I was in disbelief watching this shit last night.
He's in his head.
Do that on purpose. Weeks go by and he has decent matches. We will tend to forget about what happened. This shit has now amplified what happened last week.
Listen, all our favorite sports athletes go through shit. Go through shit mentally, go through shit physically when they're performing. They mess up. It happens. But here's the funny thing. Here's the funny part. Let me finish this thought.
Go ahead, Romeo.
Go at the WrestleMania match. The pressure is on, Jey, because you have to convince us that you've overcome all this. You have to actually deliver now. You cannot fuck up.
The pressure. Why are you adding to the pressure?
Because you have to.
So you telling me after having the worst match in WrestleMania 40, there's more pressure than what happened?
This is
over the last
more pressure. Are you way more pressure? Listen,
so I want you to tell me the last wrestler
the
irony
in the history of professional wrestling. The last wrestler in the history of professional wrestling that had an angle based on being a bad performer.
Maxine Dupree.
I'm done.
It's true.
I'm done.
That was the last one. That was the last one. It's true. I answered the question. I answered the question.
You did. You did.
It's true. We forgot about that.
That was the worst. That was the worst answer you could. He set you up. He set you up.
I answered the question. I answered the question.
You did answer the question correctly. Yes.
But listen, isn't there hilarity and irony that now Jey Uso has to be perfect at WrestleMania? Perfect. That's a lot of pressure. But if he messes up, Michael Cole could just say, "Oh, he's still in his head. he's still having the confidence issues."
Yo, you just justified exactly what me and SB3 is saying is how terrible this has been.
No, that was terrible. That was terrible because Maxine Dupree.
That was terrible.
Maxine Dupree.
No, doing it for a WrestleMania World Title match. That's better.
This is a better story. This is a way better story. Way better story.
Yo,
because Maxine Dupree is actual shit. Actual shit.
It was.
Sorry, actual shit. Jey Uso's not actual shit. It's not.
Maxine Dupree is a fucking mascot to a fucking jobber group.
Like Maxine was doing what Jey Uso does.
For the biggest championship on the program.
Jey Uso was faking missing a spear. Maxine Dupree would actually miss it. Like actually miss everything.
Yo, he just put Maxine Dupree and Jey Uso in the same sentence.
You asked the question. I answered it.
You did. You definitely did.
I wasn't gonna lie to you. I could have lied. I could have said no.
Broke the chat. The chat is just like, what?
This is great. This is great.
What's funny is that Maxine actually has improved. That's the funny part.
Yeah.
And then what? And now she doesn't wrestle. Now you never see her wrestle, even though she improved.
That was great. That was great. The setup and delivery, the setup by JJ and the delivery by Romeo. That's a top 2 moment in Rated Raw review.
That's for fun. You guys lost your
That's
shit.
definitely gotta be clipped.
Gotta be clipped. Please, Romeo. Please go ahead and clip that. That was like a minute, 1 hour, 20 something minutes into the show. That needs to be on your social media. You have the most followers. That needs to be. You need to post that.
Yo, and the confidence that
The reaction was high.
that shit with, bro.
I answered your question.
You did.
You asked me when was the last time.
Yes, we did.
I had to think about it for a little bit, but I was like, yeah, they've done this before.
A program with Ivy Nile.
Oh my god. She's still trying to get better. She's been begging Natalia off air to train her. Heel in the chat, new face in the chat. Wanted to highlight your comment here. He says Romeo right now. Every underdog is a Daniel Bryan. Some underdogs are like a Twins versus Yankees or the Vikings, where you are always nervous for them because they don't win in the big time. He says a Daniel Bryan underdog is more like the Cubs because they eventually got the championship and almost everyone was cheering for them in 2016.
I'll tell you right now, that clip was better than the entire episode of Monday Night Raw after.
It was that whole moment, like this, like I said, the setup by you, the delivery by Romeo, and then the reaction. Oh my god, that was perfect. That was perfect, right?
It's funny how much pressure this has created for Jey. WrestleMania match.
Why is that funny?
It's funny. I love the irony in all of this. Is that the reality has become story, which is going to become reality again at Mania. You better deliver, Jey. This better be. Woo! Woo! Oh my goodness. God. They might trash you more for a bad performance here than the Jimmy J match. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, of course.
If you don't deliver here, this is way worse.
If Gunther's gonna bring it, he might as well just reunite with Jey and just go for the tag title.
Like you cannot f up the dive to the outside. You cannot f up the spear. You better deliver.
We got Chuck Berry says, "Face it, guys. Romeo's gonna die on this hill alone because I don't buy it either." No, there are people that actually agrees with Romeo.
No,
I had someone quote tweet me like, "The story is fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine." While everything's burning down, they're like, "Everything's fine. He's gonna get cheered. He's gonna get cheered at WrestleMania, so it doesn't matter. Match build doesn't matter. He's gonna get cheered." Okay.
Jey is an underdog in-ring babyface. He's not this. He's not gonna run through you. He's not Cody Rhodes. He's not. They're different kind of baby faces in different kind of championships.
Still trying.
I'm saying, is he not? Do you not agree with that statement? Is Jey Uso a dominant in-ring babyface? Is he?
There is a thing. There is
a
difference.
He's incapable of it because he's a bad performer.
There's a difference between an underdog babyface and a bad wrestler. That is what they are presenting him as. A bad wrestler who messes up all the time. That is
because he's in his head.
From an underdog babyface.
There is a reason for that. It's not he's a bad wrestler, period. He's a bad wrestler because he's thinking too much. He's in his head. That happens to pro athletes all the time. They think too much. They mess up on the field, on the court, on the ice, everywhere. That happens to great athletes. Great athletes. They get in their head. It's not just Jey Uso is a bad wrestler. End of story. Like some people online think that's just a definitive statement. He's a bad wrestler. They're telling the story. He's a bad wrestler right now because.
And let me just say, I don't think Jey Uso is a bad wrestler. He's a better tag team wrestler than a singles wrestler, but he's not a bad singles wrestler. Don't get me wrong. And I 100% believe he's gonna win the World Heavyweight Championship. This is just the worst possible pathway to do that.
There will be something inspirational if Jey delivers a knockout performance at Mania and overcomes being this stigma that's attached to him from some fans out there. It will be inspirational if he actually delivers a solid match and wins a championship.
Now, what does that mean for Gunther?
And that's the other point that I wanted to make. I don't think that the issues with this feud are just isolated on Jey Uso or to this feud alone. I've been saying this for months. I've said it to Romeo many times on the last probably 20 episodes of the show. The Gunther World Heavyweight title run has been booked horribly. Literally, the only former world champion that is a legit main eventer that Gunther has faced and feuded with in this world title reign that started last August is Randy Orton. Why did he face Randy Orton? Because they botched the ending to a King of the Ring final. So literally, if it wasn't for that botch, imagine how worse this world title run would look. He's faced all the people he faced when he was Intercontinental Champion. Sami Zayn, Finn Balor, Jey Uso. And he faced Damian Priest, who he beat for the world title again. And he feuded with him longer than everybody else. This has been booked horribly because when Gunther was the dominant Intercontinental Champion and we knew that he was eventually going to lose that title, what did we all say? We said we wanted him to be World Heavyweight Champion so he can feud with the top stars in the company, the AJ Styles, the Seth Rollins, the CM Punks, the Drew McIntyres, the Roman Reigns, and he has feuded with none of them. He's faced them on house shows, never on TV.
None of them. He's been champion for 8 months?
Yes.
They didn't want those guys to lose to him.
It's like he got an elevated championship, but his competition didn't elevate.
To answer your question, JJ, what's next for Gunther? Maybe a rematch, but he's gonna lose to Goldberg in his retirement match.
It's like Gunther to me is gonna fall victim of this fucked up story. And it's going to be a hard hill for him to climb because he's going to fail to this fuck up.
Now, hold on now. What if Jey delivers? Gunther should get credit for that if Jey delivers.
If he delivers, let me see.
Gunther needs a whole lot of credit.
This is top tier expectation.
This is going to be the most fascinating match to watch.
Top tier expectation for me is a 4-star match. That is top tier expectation. If he delivers that, he shuts most people up.
This is
But
gonna be so
that's
fascinating.
Romeo, that's top tier expectation.
What if they get like 4.5? Oh my god.
Then this time, then
They got 4.5
deliver, Romeo,
at Saturday
if he
Night's main
delivers-
event.
Yeah,
if he
so they
delivers
are capable.
if it's a better match than the one on Saturday night's main event, because that was actually a really good match. If it's
That
better
was.
than that, then yeah, we will say, okay, all right, this road was really fucking rough, but it paid off.
Can they get 5?
No,
No chance?
no,
No,
chance.
not a
chance.
single chance.
No,
Not,
0%.
not a single chance.
No chance.
Not
Not a
even
single
1%.
No chance.
Not
I
a
will
No
say-
chance.
I will-
when
I will
when the
say-
build when the
Romeo, I
build
will
is
say-
that bad, that stops you from having a 5-star match.
Let me tell you something, Romeo. If and I will tell you this, you can clip this if you want to. If they deliver a 5-star match, I will pick a member of the True Heel Heat audience and send them a $100 Zelle on program on the next Rated Raw Superstars that I am on after WrestleMania.
What about 4 3/4?
No, 5.
No, don't go down now.
Can
No,
they
no,
get?
no,
Can
no,
they
no,
get
no,
4
no, no, no.
3/4?
It has to be a 5-star match. If you want to die on this hill, I will send somebody that, as you're right, Romeo, they delivered a 5-star match.
You're only asking them to get 0.5 stars higher than what they got before. 0.5.
Then do it.
And Jey Uso has been in a 5-star matchup at WrestleMania.
And he's done
been
it
a 5-star
before.
ma- He's
He's
done it
got
before.
it in his
But,
blood.
Yeah,
but what was that in? A tag team match.
And this also involves Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. For fuck's
He
sake.
has an incredible dance partner. Incredible.
We
One
we
who's got
do
5
have
stars
a
before.
we do have a super chat donation here from Ten Ruza. Thank you so much, Ten Ruza, for the support. He sends a super chat donation because we have some breaking news from Fightful Select. Gail Kim to leave TNA, and he asks the question: WWE gutting TNA? I think that this is probably a long time coming, because Gail Kim was a kind of Scott D'Amore hire, a Scott D'Amore put on. I'm reading the report now. The email I got from Fightful Select says TNA has sent out an email saying that Gail Kim, Ariel Schrenner, Rob Klingman, and Michael Skruzinsko are leaving the company. Details to follow. So that is a huge departure because Gail Kim has been such a contributing factor as far as the storylines and backstage creative for the Knockouts division for the better part of like 7, 8 years. Like she's been so much of a kind of integral part of basically booking the Knockouts division. That's a huge loss for TNA.
Mm-hmm.
What do y'all think? Do you think WWE is gutting them? WWE going to bring in Gail Kim or something?
I mean, it would be nice to have her in there as a coach. Yeah, for sure. To have her with the desperately needed writing of the women's division. My God, like they thank God they've done something right with this Io, Rhea, and Bianca story. But outside of that, they're like in fucking deep waters right now because there's literally nothing going on in the rest of the division.
Yeah, wouldn't hurt to have Gail Kim coaching up the ladies.
Yeah. And I think they need someone, a prominent female in the creative team as well. So
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind that.
seriously, they do.
Yeah. So there we have it. Yes. A bunch of people commenting in the chat, but we'll talk more about that for sure. Definitely on the flagship podcast coming up on Saturday. Thank you, Ten Ruza, for sending that super chat donation to break the news here. But let's talk about the rest of Monday Night Raw. We spent like the first portion of the show on the John Cena and Cody Rhodes and Romeo's support of Jey Uso the fuck up. But there was a big video package for El Grande Americano.
Oh, we're going to talk about this too.
Who hailed from the Gulf of America. I suppose this video was a nice idea, except for all the AI generated graphics that we had here.
That's
they
the
used
point.
to make this.
That's the point. This is all made up in fiction. It's supposed to be
Yo,
generated.
bro, it just says returns.
Grande Americano has returned. He was in Legend of Lucha Libre, they talk about, from the Gulf of America. Meanwhile, we have Adam Pearce and LWO watching this footage in Adam Pearce's office, and he says the person is the newest star on Monday Night Raw. Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee says this person in the video is obviously and clearly Chad Gable. Because they use AI, the wrestler didn't actually look like Chad Gable, though. Gable does show up, though, in the office, and he says that they were wrong. He was also sick and had a doctor's note, so he wouldn't be able to compete today. Pierce said the note was legit, even though it was very obviously faking it. Gable suggested that Dragon Lee face El Grande Americano tonight instead, and Dragon Lee accepts the challenge. Rey Mysterio looks at Gable and said, "You're a real jackass," which did make me laugh.
I laugh too. Anytime Rey Mysterio talks like that, because he never talks like that.
So you love this vignette. The vignette, I did chuckle a little bit. I did chuckle.
I love everything about it. Everything. The presentation, the music, the vignette. Oh my god. The gear.
This is like
the commentary, Cole.
This is like the boss in fucking El Gando Wrestlers for PlayStation 2.
Never played it.
This is the big bad that you're gonna fight for the quadruple A championship.
Returns. They gave him a returns graphic. That was hilarious.
That was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. I don't like all the AI generated stuff, but it does work for this gimmick. We got a couple of people in the chat who loved this second.
I enjoyed this so much. You got to be careful that like this might be a baby face to me. You got to be careful. You got to make sure it's a heel.
I always wonder though.
Gracias.
Why do they book the fake luchadors better than the real luchadors though?
Yeah, Lucha Blog was pissed on Twitter. Oh my goodness. Ooh. Yes.
I don't know what to tell
He's
you.
not wrong. He's not wrong. Next up, we see Richard Gadd of Baby Reindeer on Netflix. I don't care. Next up is Lyra Valkyria defending the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship against Raquel Rodriguez. Rodriguez booted Valkyria out of midair at one point to take control. She hit a jackhammer following the commercial break for a 2 count. Lyra countered a suplex into a nice little DDT. Liv placed Rodriguez foot on the rope to break up the cover, but Valkyria drop kicks Morgan. Moments later, Rodriguez goes for the Tejada bomb, but Lyra is able to reverse that into a victory roll for the 1-2-3. We for you in the States, you only got to see about like 5 minutes of this with the ad break in between, but it was fine for what it was. Post match, you get Liv and Raquel attacking Lyra after the matchup. This brings out Bayley, who runs out from the back. Her music hits and she runs out to clear the ring with Lyra. After the beatdown from the Judgment Day, they get the better of both Liv and Rodriguez, teaming up together to throw Raquel out of the ring, and then they pose together. Bayley then picked up the Women's Intercontinental Championship and handed it to Lyra as they stood tall. This seems to set up maybe Bayley and Lyra getting a shot at the Women's Tag Team titles, but we also know Lyra has accepted a challenge from Bayley for the IC title as well. So we'll see what pans out over the next couple of weeks. JJ, what did you think about this one?
It happened. That's basically, I don't, hopefully we get at least, hopefully at least Bayley gets like a IC championship match on like the pre-show of WrestleMania or something like.
Nah, my girl Bayley got to be on the main card, man.
No, the fuck she's not.
Come on.
No, the fuck she's not. The way it's not. Model. It ain't us. It ain't us. Like she was literally in the fucking World Championship match last year. She won the Royal Rumble last year, and here we are. She's a fucking running as an assistant to a fucking C match on Monday Night Raw.
She looked at that belt good. She took a good gander at it.
She did.
Good. Keep looking at it because you need something to do and hopefully it's something important because They're treat like it's like, yo, I get how valuable they say she is, and she can be used whenever, wherever. But come on, put some fucking respect on her. Like, god damn.
Yes. Put the IC title on her. I like it. Do it.
What did you think about this match, Romeo?
Well, Raquel was good. The crowd was like, this was the quietest the crowd had been on a women's match like the past couple of international shows. They've actually been pretty loud for women's matches. Not this one. They were, oof, you could hear pin.
They seem to like Lyra when she was on offense.
Yeah. Lyra's good, but I don't want to see Lyra and Bailey tag team. I don't need to see that. I want to see them one on one.
Yeah, Liv did look good in those booty shots. I'll tell you that.
Liv always Liv, always.
Live for the moment.
Liv's
got to get on the card though.
Yeah,
That's why I'm saying I think it's maybe you go in the tag team route for WrestleMania to get Liv on the card, because my original idea was Liv and Raquel versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, but they don't seem to be going in that direction at all.
It's like all the women have just like most besides the ones that's like in programs have just like washed away. Like they're just gone. Like even
Bianca and Naomi's done.
Like they tag tweeted like where are you Nia Jax? He said catering. Like it's like they just all get put to the shelf for this next month, and then they'll be back for Backlash.
Yeah, and I agree with RPGs.
2 nights.
I agree with RPGs. Bailey is this generation's Mickie James. They say she's important, but their actions say otherwise.
Not wrong.
Not wrong at all.
I don't know if you could find a way to fucking you could find a way to throw Rhea Ripley in this fucking women's circle and make this a triple threat match. Why the fuck you couldn't just find some hoopla shit and get Bailey in that match on SmackDown and make that shit better?
Whoa. It's a Charlotte's Royal Rumble chance, pal.
So?
We're going to do the same thing that we're doing to Bianca to Charlotte?
Yep.
Come on.
During the ad break, the New Day, who last appeared on Raw about 2-3 weeks ago, are back, and they say that they beat Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. They cut a promo during the commercials. They ran down the locals before proclaiming they would win the World Tag Team titles at WrestleMania. More on that in a bit. Then there was a video package of Triple H beating The Rock at SummerSlam 1998 in a ladder match for the IC title. This was meant to hype Triple H going into the Hall of Fame, but it also puts importance on the IC title, which is on the line in the main event. So I did like that. And then
I originally thought it was for. I originally thought it was just for that. I was like, no, wait, this is Triple H Hall of Fame.
This is ego based. This is for Triple H.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you know, but like the US viewers, like the first hour or so, I think. Like they weren't showing commercials; they were showing us what was going on in the arena, even though it said like be back. But then they fixed it. I was like, wait, we forgot to put commercials for these viewers. Then they started showing commercials.
Oh, I didn't know. So that's good. Then we get Adam Pearce coming out to the ring to lay down the law on what happened last week with Io Sky and Bianca Belair's contract signing. He comes out with the contract and he says that Rhea Ripley signed her name on this contract too, but that did not mean she was getting a title shot at WrestleMania. Big boos from the Scotland crowd. Pearce said that he's been trying to assign Ripley's title rematch for weeks. But in the meantime, Bianca Belair won the Elimination Chamber and earned the title match at WrestleMania. Ripley, meanwhile, only wanted the title rematch on her terms. He was about to make an announcement, but came out the WWE Women's World Champion, Io Sky. Sky didn't care about contracts and was happy to take on both Bianca and Rhea because she was the women's world champion.
Don't do that.
This brought out Bianca, who was not about to let Rhea Ripley headbutt her way into this matchup because she didn't earn it. She won the Elimination Chamber. She earned the matchup at WrestleMania, and Rhea has to wait her turn. But that brought out Rhea Ripley. Ripley gets on the mic and he says, huge pop, as always, for Rhea Ripley. Ripley says, honestly, I don't give a damn about WrestleMania. She didn't care who she had to face to get her title back. She wanted her rematch. Pierce was annoyed because now she suddenly wanted the matchup when he's been trying to give it to her for weeks. Belair said that Ripley has already waited 3 weeks. She could wait another 3 weeks and get the title match after she wins the title at WrestleMania. Big boos for Bianca saying that. Once again, Rhea and Bianca start arguing while Io Sky tried to interject, but Rhea just paintbrushes her and knocks her down. Pierce tries to get in the middle of them after Ripley shoved her aside. Sky was about to go after them again, but Pierce has had enough. He was pissed off, and he announces that it will be Rhea Ripley getting her title rematch next week on Monday Night Raw against Io Sky. And the winner of that matchup would face Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. As Ripley and Belair argued again as Pierce went out of the ring, they literally were like kicking stuff aside because you knew they were about to do some spots, and this felt very contrived. Sky wiped out Ripley with a DDT after being launched in the air by Bianca. The crowd booed as Bianca tried to hit Io and then set her up for the KOD. Sky avoided it and did like a arm drag to Bianca and then gave Ripley a Hurricane Rana out of the ring. However, Bianca gave Io a KOD to send her on top of Rhea outside of the ring. Both women were down, and Bianca Belair stood in the ring with the title belt and got some boos because of it. I'll be honest, I love all three of these ladies. This was the weakest segment that they've had so far as in this whole rivalry here. But they did follow this up later in the show. Speaking of the last two segments that we saw with the New Day and with Bianca. First, we see Adam Pearce in his office and the New Day come in. They demanded a World Tag Team title shot at WrestleMania. He said no, and he says that he wanted them to prove they earned a shot first and prove that next week and then kick them out of the office. Then Bianca Belair, perhaps suffering from...
There's a funny part where like Xavier says under his breath, like, take your blood pressure medicine. Like Adam Pearce,
he's like, get me some water.
That was funny.
Belair somehow like suffered amnesia from getting the better of Io and Rhea. She enters and asks Pierce who was she facing at WrestleMania, despite Adam Pearce just announcing that she gets the matchup at WrestleMania with the winner of next week. She would find out though that she would find out who she faces next week, says Pierce. But then he says that she's not going to be at ringside. She's going to be right in the middle of it and call it down the middle because she will be the special guest referee for Rhea versus Io on next week's show. She says she didn't know how to be a referee, and he told her to figure it out. Everyone got booked horribly in this whole segment. Between these two segments, I was like, Bianca Belair is an idiot with short-term memory. Yes. Rhea Ripley is still a whiny badass, whiny baby badass, and Io Sky is being disrespected weekly now.
Pie-faced every week.
Christ. This was their worst segment yet.
I 100% agree. Look, we agree. Yeah, we agree.
It only took 2 hours.
They all look so weak.
2 hours.
The characters look weak. I hate this Rhea character. Yeah, Rhea has plot armor. She gets cheered through the roof. I don't understand. Even though she's being a whiny baby. Bianca, what happened to Bianca's intelligence? I know something's been off with Bianca ever since the Naomi Jade stuff. Something's been off. Something's weird there with her character. And Io is getting pie-faced every week. She's the most likable out of all three currently, I would say, to me, in my opinion.
She's sympathetic.
Yeah.
More than likable.
And I don't know, what are you going to do next week now? Now you've set up this women's championship match. Bianca, special ref. Is this how we're gonna get to the triple threat with this?
Yeah,
Bianca just
writing's
big
on the wall,
schmons.
and then no contest.
I don't know how I feel about that.
This is why this can't be the main event next week.
Yeah, I agree with. I guess we all agree here, which is thank God. So, we agree on something after 2 hours of fucking debate.
This review would have been 20 minutes if we agreed on everything.
But but that's what makes us awesome. This, I don't know. I think you said it, SP, and I felt it when I was watching it. This felt like we was watching them do rehearsals. Like it felt like the every move and spot. Look, it was almost like, you ready? You ready? Ready? You ready? Like it almost felt like, get ready. This is about to happen. Get ready. I'm about to do this. It didn't go fluid at all. Like there was so much pause in between the moves. If you kind of watch it again, it just felt like it was, okay, I'm about to do this now. Okay, I'm about to do this now. You go here. I'm gonna flip you now. It felt like the spots were cool when they were executed. That's what kind of got me annoyed with it, because the spots that were done were great, but it just felt like they were like talking to each other through it, like they were figuring it out in the moment, and it was like, it's cool, but damn, yo, yeah, I'm watching rehearsals. This would be nice to watch if it was like a Netflix special. I mean, it was on Netflix, but like a documentary special or something. It's like, all right, this is how we get our work done, but live, this is it, one take. And that's what makes that profession so difficult, is because it's you got one take and that's it. But this one, it just felt like I was watching it a rehearsal, but it was a very well done rehearsal as far as like the execution of the moves. But yeah, as an overall segment, this shit was crap. This was like and it's when Adam Pearce is like the strongest part of a segment.
Yo, he had a good night,
right? Like that. Yeah. That's not saying a lot about the rest of the performers. Like Adam Pearce to me was probably like the high point of it, because it was like he was literally trying to get control of 3 children because they didn't know how to act, and was like, enough of this bullshit. I've been trying to tell your ass for a month when your rematch was. Like, so I had it. But yeah, like this didn't hit home at all, like compared to the last couple weeks.
Adam Pearce had a stressful night, but I thought he was like justified in everything he was saying, which is rare with Adam Pearce. Like Adam Pearce usually annoys me, the character. This was a strong night for him. He actually made a lot of sense throughout the night.
Yeah. Yeah, he was getting to work every week, yo.
Yo, they just keep disrespecting my girl. I love you, Sky. What are we doing?
Like, she's getting pie faced every week, and then she's not coming out on top.
If I had to guess next week, Rhea like accidentally, like maybe not accidentally, but like gets physical with Bianca, and Bianca fast counts her, makes her lose like that. If I had to guess.
Yeah. We got Will Chisholm. It says, y'all seen what Fightful reported about Mariah May? That's another report that came out as we've been live here. It says she's in her contract year. Fightful Select has learned that a number of staff, wrestlers, and higher-ups believe that former AEW Women's World Champion Mariah May is in a contract year. Specifically, those that we've spoken to in AEW believe that her deal is up in the summer. We've not learned if there are any option years attached to it, but one source in the company say that they would be shocked if there weren't, as a deal this short is uncharacteristic for the push May got. We're told AEW is looking to retain her regardless. Word of May's contract status has spread within AEW in recent weeks following her loss to Toni Storm at Revolution. Fightful has reached out to Mariah May and reps, and they did not have comment. AEW does not comment on the contract statuses of talent. So there you have it. I think AEW needs to do whatever they need to do to re-sign Mariah May, especially after the Toni Storm feud.
You would think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah. There has to be an option. There has to be an option though on the contract, because that would be a 2-year deal, and that's uncharacteristic. AEW is known for 3 to 5 year deals.
Yeah. AEW is going to offer you a bag. It's going to be up to you what you want to do, because WWE, they're going to have their price point. They're going to be like, we think you're worth this much. You take it or leave it.
Yeah.
We got Hanukkah says she should get Bailey money right now. Absolutely. She earned that with the Toni Storm storyline for sure. All right. Backstage, we see Dom meet up with Penta and basically once again putting out the offer for the Judgment Day and saying that they can help him win the Intercontinental Championship tonight and asks him to think about it.
Enticing. Should have took the deal. Penta. Come on.
Could have helped him. Could have helped
An
him.
icy chant.
And then we have the in-ring debut of El Grande Americano. And as he's going one-on-one with LWO's Dragon Lee. This is basically this is Chad Gable in a mask. I'm sorry to my co-host. This is Chad Gable in a mask.
Chad Gable was sick. It's not him.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Uh-huh. Sure thing.
Chad Gable never does this move ever.
Yes. You're right. But he does do suplexes. He does do suplexes, and he did an impressive one in this goddamn matchup. This fucking exploder off the apron to the floor. Oh my god, the splat that these two men dropped on that floor was nasty.
And I love Cole. Cole said, "What a suplex by Chad Gable! Grande Americano."
They exchanged chops after the break until Dragon Lee hit a snap German suplex and a super kick. Dragon Lee sprinted at Gable, but Gable launched him into, El Grande Americano launched him with an overhead suplex into the corner. We got loud chants of "Ole, ole, ole, ole." Dragon Lee avoided a moonsault and then hit a lager bomb for a 2 count with Gable El Grande Americano dangling upside down in the corner in the tree of woe. Dragon Lee goes for a double stomp, but Gable sat up and ripped Lee's mask off. El Grande Americano. Dragon Lee frantically covered his face while Grande Americano applied an ankle lock. I wonder who else has an ankle lock.
That's a nice finisher. Why not?
True. This is true. Dragon Lee struggled for a moment, but he couldn't get to the ropes without covering his face up, so he had no choice but to tap out. This match was a lot of fun on this show. I thought these two guys worked really well together. I liked Chad Gable versus Dragon Lee when they faced each other in Saudi Arabia last year, and this was just as good as that matchup. I think El Grande Americano gets some training from Chad Gable or has watched some Chad Gable tape, because he used a lot of Chad Gable moves in this matchup, but the finish got a lot of heat and it plays into the whole storyline that's going on. So I really enjoyed this one. Romeo, what did you think?
One of the greatest debuts of our time. Oh my goodness, we are so blessed. What a performance. I love the music. Did Def Rebel cook for once? Did you like the music?
That wasn't Def Rebel. That was a mariachi band from Mexico.
I liked it though. Yeah, and I didn't know Dragon Lee had all that hair in his head. Jeez, I never seen Dragon Lee like that before.
Me either. I was like, oh, okay. You got a nice little fade.
Like, yeah,
you got a nice little fade. All right, I see you. I'll see you, homeboy. JJ.
Yeah, Grande had a great debut. It was this motherfucker is athletic as shit and powerful.
Yeah, complete package.
Shredded. I don't know why they kept him locked in the fucking chamber for 40, 50 years. He looks like he's 20. Just the math is just mathing perfectly. Like young up and coming legend that was locked away forever, and now he's back. He looks super young, super spry. And, Unison got some great trainers in the wrestling universe. Got some great trainers out there. So, I'm looking to see more of Grande Americano and see where this goes because the people are eating it up. So the people are eating it up. Like, this like, if that was Chad Gable, those people wouldn't have gave a fuck. But Grande Americano, on the other hand, people are starting to love him. Like that reaction that he was getting throughout the match and just his mannerisms in the match. Like, listen, I fucks with Grande Americano right now. Like, I want to see more of this shit.
Honestly, like some people may tell me, "Oh, Romeo, it's way too soon." I'd put him on WrestleMania. He's got to be on the card. He's that impressive.
All right,
Some people say too
all right,
soon.
all right,
I don't
all
know.
right, you're dragging it now.
You don't
I'm
agree?
trying to be- You're just dragging it now. Like
Come on.
on the WrestleMania card
All right,
against who?
WrestleMania SmackDown.
Against
How
who?
about that?
Mysterio.
Andre the Giant Battle.
Oh, that would be the King of the Luchadors match.
Yeah. Who's the king of the luchadors? You know,
That might happen night one.
Honestly, this is my pick, Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Early pick.
Yeah, he could be in
I think
that.
he's winning.
He could be in that. He could probably win that. He could be in that. That's on SmackDown, so he can win that.
Yeah.
man, this guy's gonna take a spot from all the other Mexicans. Andrade, so sorry you don't get your role on WrestleMania this year.
You're already getting a lot of reaction.
You just kept your mask on, bro. Apparently, that's the key to success. You gotta keep whatever you come to the ring with. Just keep that shit on.
We did see Chad Gable during that ad break with the Creed brothers and Ivy Now. He came out and he explained that he's sorry to the Scotland fans that he couldn't compete on tonight's show.
People think he's El Grande Americano.
It's a unfortunate time when you do all that traveling and you get somebody gets you sick. The day
was he sweating or something? Like was it like when he came?
No,
out?
he was just coughing. He had some tissue.
Two different people.
Sure.
Coughing with no mask on.
Yeah, what, bro? What are you showing up to work for? Stay your ass at home. Take a picture of the signal.
Mask on, spreading germs. We're gonna probably have Adam Pearce miss next week now too.
Could have got El Grande Americano sick. Now he's after his debut. Now he's sick. Like,
how could he have gotten him sick? He wasn't around him.
Well, he's backstage. I heard so.
They did provide an update on the Gail Kim news. The email was sent out by TNA informing about the departing leadership team. As a longtime Anthem employee, they say Ariel Schrenner has played an important role in growing the Anthem properties from his work with Fight Network and most recently his focus on TNA. Gail Kim has a long and storied career in TNA as both a champion wrestler and a part of TNA management team. It's basically kind of being like, oh, these guys were great, but we got them the hell up out of there. The big news is they have brought in they've brought in Romy Glazer, who's going to be working with the team, and Raphael Morphy, and most notably they are bringing in Delirious. Hunter Johnston is now going to be heading up their TNA creative.
Wow, look at y'all getting a mini True Hill Heat episode on the Rated Raw review.
We got all this news coming out. Might as well just drop it in here. We'll talk about it more on the flagship on Saturday, but had to break that news since we had a super chat talking about that earlier.
I'll know how good Delirious is at creative when I see what he does with Joe Hendry.
I mean, it's got to be better than the fucking start of his title run. Dude's been a mid-carder as a world heavyweight champion.
Yeah, it's like, and then you win the title.
We did get video packages for Ivy Now and the War Raiders during ad breaks as well. There was a video package for the CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins segment from SmackDown this week. And then we had CM Punk come out to talk to the fans in Scotland. He entered to a huge reaction from them. He gets in the ring and he says that he was not in a good mood, but it was hard to be pissed off when you enter to a reaction like that. He was tired and jet lag, and boy was he tired, especially when they did that fucking close up and you saw the bags under this nigga's eyes.
Bro, he got the week.
He says he hasn't slept well the last few days, thanks mostly to the uncertainty around his road to WrestleMania. He said he had a match at Mania, but what I want, I'm not getting. Or am I?
What does that mean?
He said he wanted to win the Rumble, but he didn't. He needed to win the Elimination Chamber, but the more things changed, the more things stayed the same. I work with children. Had to put in the AEW shot. No reaction from the
no reaction.
crowd.
Yes, again. Every time he does an AEW dig, the live crowd's like, huh? But I laughed.
He said Seth Rollins was the world champion of being a piss baby, and Rollins screwed him at the Elimination Chamber. For Rollins and Reigns, it was clearly personal, but for him, it was just business. Nigga, you're in a triple threat that's about a personal rivalry between all of y'all. What the fuck are you talking about? He says the two men who stood in his way from getting what he wanted had to go. Rollins has been crying since CM Punk returned because the shadow he cast over him belittled everything Rollins was about. Roman Reigns, meanwhile, seemed to be taking it personally because he realized that his wise man wasn't just his wise man.
Ooh.
It would be business for Punk on SmackDown too, because they were having a good old-fashioned contract signing. Some fans booed because SmackDown is not in Scotland. Punk acknowledged it, unlike Seth Rollins did last week, which made this a better promo that could have been an email than Seth. He knew that they wanted it tonight, and so did he. He wanted his hands on the contract to see if this match would get him any closer to what he really wanted, or if it would just be another rug pull from the powers that be. Punk reminded Rollins and Reigns that they had never beaten him without the other's help. Punk also said, I brought you into this business, and I cannot wait to be the man who takes you both out of it. He calls himself the best in the world, and he dropped the mic. Cole reminded us that Punk brought the Shield to WWE, kind of adding context to what Punk had to say. And it is official. We are going to get the contract signing for the WrestleMania triple threat between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. Romeo, what did you think about Punk's promo, and what do you think he meant by getting what he wanted, or will he?
I would assume that he is talking about the championship that Cody Rhodes currently holds. That he wants that. He wants title shots, and that this should be like a number one contendership match. But I don't know, because is he also hinting that this is going to be the main event of WrestleMania Night 1? And like, you know how you guys already know how I feel about that. This should not be main eventing at all, with no stakes. But if they're going to add stakes, a number one contendership match, but it's not going to be inserted into night 2. It's going to be for a future title shot. I don't know. It's just something's off about this. I don't like the way Punk is saying it. Not a fan.
Why
is Seth in the middle of the match graphic? How did he land that? What? This guy's going to win. He's going to win.
He's the glue.
He's going to win.
I can see that. JJ, what did you think of this?
This promo sucked. I mean, I yawned during your analysis, you talking about it, and it just was literally, it felt like copy paste from what he previously said, and yeah, he needs those other two for this to be interesting, because I was not interested at all. And I was just like, nigga, you got your Larry bracelet replaced? Like, you just got a new bracelet? Like, why are you not kayfabing that shit being gone forever? That shit got smashed in front of the world. But, you know, I was like, I'm fucking daring off into other places listening to him talk. And I'm like, all right, the favor and blah, is there some... I was like, whatever. Just get to your fucking point already. Like, that's how I felt about it. I was like, this shit is... bleh. Yeah, I didn't care about this promo at all. I could be in a minority. I don't care. This promo, I did not feel this one at all.
I hope it's not for a title shot at Backlash. Is there another event before Backlash? A Saturday night main event or something?
Yeah, because I think Backlash is going to be Cena and Orton.
That's what it should be. Yes, 100%. So I don't know. You think this is for
or maybe it's a guaranteed title shot?
Yeah, they got to add
whenever you want. Like, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. somebody's got to get something out of this match, though. Like, this match can't just happen and then everybody just goes about their business.
Especially,
but you can't put nothing past WWE. Then all of a sudden, you just have Drew McIntyre just attack CM Punk on the next episode of Monday Night Raw, and then they're back to business, and then fucking Roman Reigns gets attacked by Solo Sikoa, and then they're back to business. Like, you can't put nothing past WWE that they'll just have this one match blow off, and then fucking everybody goes their own separate ways, and this shit never happened.
What do you think, SP3? What do you think the contract's going to be for number one contender, or it's just like, oh, this is the main event?
I think what Punk wants is the main event of WrestleMania. So
Corny.
I mean, I can see him getting his favor from Paul Heyman. Is Paul negotiating that into the contract?
That's the favor?
That would be a shitty favor.
Ass.
Like, you do
I mean,
all that just because you want to be in a main event of a match that you're probably not even going to win. Yeah, sure.
And you're doing this for your boy Jey Uso too. Just a side note.
Sure. So I'm just saying, like, if this favor that they brought up like 5, 6, 7 times, this shit better mean something, because I'm getting bored of hearing about this fucking favor. This favor has been in existence since Survivor Series, and we are 5 months past that already. So I am hoping that this shit just 4 months. I hope this shit just pays the fuck off at some point. Like, why is a favor dragging for so long? Like, the fuck?
I would be more accepting if it was number one contender.
That's not a favor.
Either or.
That's not a favor.
Either or, because of the stars involved, this feels like the second biggest matchup outside of Cody and Cena. But it had this whole one person on Raw to set up the segment and the real build on SmackDown isn't working for me, especially considering that Punk and Rollins are both Raw guys. This whole build would be a lot better if Punk and Rollins could build it on Raw and then come to SmackDown to build it with Roman. If it was being built on both shows, it would feel even bigger and feel like it is going to be the night one main event. I felt like the first segment, the brawl, was good, but I wanted more from the promos. I'm hoping we get the promo that I expected last week, this week during the contract signing.
Yeah. And then next SmackDown, they're in Chicago. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. All right, we did get a quick Instagram video from Logan Paul to set up. Logan Paul will be calling out AJ Styles next week in London. Yay, guys, they didn't forget about that rivalry.
Bro, because I forgot. I was like, whoa, shit, Logan Paul, I forgot he's on the freaking roster.
They haven't done shit with this rivalry the last 2 weeks because I guess Logan didn't want to go to Brussels or Scotland.
Maybe he's not allowed.
This is one of those matches that I don't want to see nothing about the build up to it. I just want to see the match.
Yeah, it's then the bell rings. It's kind of like where I'm at with Tiffany and Charlotte.
Yeah, like, I don't want to see anything about these two. Like, literally, I'm okay with not having them on any program until WrestleMania. Just have them make the match official and then be gone until WrestleMania. Because clearly you're not going to do anything interesting with AJ Styles. Like, AJ Styles, you're not going to do anything interesting with him, clearly. Like, y'all got him locked in with Logan Paul for the next 4 weeks. So, like, I don't need to see them two interacting for 4 weeks.
Didn't they do this segment at MSG or advertise it? Like, Logan Paul calls out AJ Styles?
Yeah.
No,
it was supposed to be AJ calling out Logan Paul.
But it was the reverse.
But Logan came out first, yeah. And got into the segment with Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, sure.
And then finally, we had our main event. Before the main event, Kathy Kelly asked Bron Breakker if he was worried that Penta might have some help from the Judgment Day. Bron didn't seem worried about it. He said he would retain the title because the dogs were barking in Glasgow. And that led into the main event matchup. Penta challenging for his first singles gold in WWE against Intercontinental Champion Bron Breakker. Penta used a Hurricane Rana in the early goings to send Bron into the ropes to set up the next spot. Bron was actually supposed to be on the other side of the ring, so he stumbled to the other side as Penta posed, which looked really awkward if you noticed it. This led to Bron sidestepping, getting a knee to Penta, which set him up on the near the announce table for the leaping clothesline off the apron, bouncing hard off that announce table. Then we see Dom and Carlito wandered out during the commercial break. Braun and Penta traded strikes until Penta hit a super kick, a bulldog, and then a backstabber. Braun blocked a Canadian destroyer and set it up into a military press gutbuster, which looked good for a 2 count. Penta hit another super kick, an enziguri, and then used a Hurricane Rana to yank Braun off of the middle rope. Penta followed up with a nice little flip dive to the outside, and then he hits the Mexican Destroyer for a 2 count in the ring. Braun followed later and hit the Breakensteiner for a near fall himself. He set up for a spear, but Dom gets on the apron to distract the referee. Carlito tries to interfere, so Braun pulled him into the ring and gives him a spear. As Braun was about to follow up on Penta, Dom comes from behind and chop blocks him right in front of the referee to cause a disqualification. Braun went after Dom, but then Finn Balor makes the save for Dom, attacking Braun in the back with the steel chair. Balor seemed to like he was pissed with Dom, but then handed him the steel chair so Dom could continue the assault on Braun. But Dom then offers the chair to Penta, looking to kind of solidify him joining the Judgment Day. Balor didn't seem like he liked that idea at all, and Penta made us all see that Balor was right, as Penta teases like he might hit Braun, but then tosses the steel chair at Dom and super kicks him right in the face with it. Balor then decked Penta from behind and then got the steel chair to hit Braun, and then he hits Penta, lays him out in the ring. He takes Braun out of the ring and then follows up with a coup de grace on Penta. He then goes to Dom and extends his hand and lifting him up to his feet, and the Judgment Day stand tall to end the show. This crowd was fucking silent by the end. They were silent at the beginning of this matchup, but Braun and Penta worked well with each other to get them into the matchup. But that was a flat finish to this matchup. It was an otherwise pretty solid matchup, but that finish was lame, and the ending to the show was even lamer. JJ?
Yeah. Judgment Day ruins another episode of Raw.
Oh.
Yeah, this was actually a halfway. This was actually a pretty decent match between these two, and for whatever reason, Judgment Day just finds themselves in the middle of something that they're not gonna win. Like they're just like literally natural born grouped losers. Like they're just a bunch of grouped losers put together to fuck shit up, interrupt things. And all of a sudden, it's not going to pay off, as it never does. It's never going to pay off. Like, what are we doing? Like, I just seeing the ending to this was like, this was so flat and this was so garbage. It's like, why? Why did this happen? Why did the ending of Monday Night Raw take place? For what? Somebody help me understand what the fuck happened that closed the show and that justified it. Because I was lost as a motherfucker. Because this motherfucker literally lost the fucking IC championship last week. And then he closes out the show looking strong this week. For what? He's going to get a rematch and lose again? Yeah, miss me with all this bullshit.
Romeo?
I agree with you guys on the match. The whole ending stuff. I like it, but it just shouldn't have closed the show because it's a downer. It's a really downer ending, especially for you don't get a winner in the match. I don't think it should close the show. If it's somewhere else on the show, I think it's you're more positive about it, honestly. I like the camera angle of Finn Balor appearing, like that came out of nowhere, like you didn't see him coming with the chair. And I like the intrigue with Dominic handing the chair to Penta to see if he's doing it. You know he's not going to do it. And even if he did do it, that was going to be like Ken Shamrock style, like what, chair to the face. Bron Breakker was ass begging, like, I dare you, Bron Breakker. But like, this is probably setting up the 4-way at Mania. I'll say this: I got more faith. If I'm a betting man in Dominic Mysterio, then I'll ever coming away with a sneaky win than I ever will Finn Balor.
Yeah.
Ever. Yeah, you got more faith in that, JJ? At least
The way
Dom you could see.
This would be the way to get Dom the Intercontinental title.
So you telling me you're gonna have two motherfuckers in the Judgment Day in a match at WrestleMania?
Oh yeah. I think Dom can win. And Dom having the championship is gonna infuriate Finn Balor. Oh my goodness. I could see it. But then where the hell is Sheamus?
I guess they do gotta fill the rest. I guess they do gotta fill like the bathroom break portion of the WrestleMania card. So.
This is not a bathroom break. If Penta is gonna be in the match, if Braun's gonna be in the match, will you stop?
Yeah, let me know if anyone is interested in a fatal 4-way match between these four people at WrestleMania. Let me know. I want to know. Please, somebody just let me know in the chat. Let me know if any SP. Is anybody interested in a fatal 4-way match that no one fucking has any fucking intriguing? Like, there's no fucking story between these four people.
There is story. Yes, there is. I'm interested. I would like to see Dom win. I would. I'd like to see Dom win.
You know what? But you know what? Have this match. This is a perfect time to go get refreshments. This is a perfect time. Food. This is a perfect time to go take a piss.
Bruh, there's going to be a 20 minute.
When you come back, you'll get into the second, third gear when the match.
Yeah, and
you guys.
The match, and then I'll see the winner, and then we move on, and then I can now chill and enjoy the rest of the show.
You guys know how Mania works. There's a 15-minute break before the match, anyways.
This is also true.
You don't need a bathroom break. They give it to you before. Come on.
No one is going to care about this at all. I'm telling you. I feel bad for Penta in this situation.
And Braun. I feel bad for Braun.
I mean, Braun's already been in the mud. Like they have literally not given a fuck about Bron Breakker since he's won that championship. Like it is like disgusting what they've done with him.
Why has his spear changed? Why is he jumping now? Who told him to jump there in his spears?
He almost killed somebody with the old one. That's
yes, I love it.
Ever since I Show Speed, that's when he changed his speed.
He's doing this jumping spear now. It's not as good as the old one. I don't like it.
You know what? If this is what they're gonna do to Penta, put him together with Phoenix sooner.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
well, you know what?
You're gonna throw him in a 4-way match that he's not gonna win.
When they do the draft, that's probably why not.
You might as well put them together and win the tag titles. Because this 4-way Penta is definitely not winning if this happens.
Well, we've made it to the end of this episode of Monday Night Raw, folks. Let us know in the live
chat. How this felt exactly like how Raw ended? A downer.
Let us know in the live chat what you gave the show out of 10. Who was the MVP, LVP, match of the night? Whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle. For me, Romeo and Top Guy JJ for the March 24th, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs in the middle for me and JJ. Thumbs up for Romeo. Out of 10, what did you give this show, Romeo?
I originally had it like a 6.5, but you know, to appease everybody.
No, this is
No.
Literally, this is your rating, and you gave it a thumbs up. So even if it's not a 6.5, that's a thumbs in the middle.
No. I'm gonna appease her because I'm not gonna die on this freaking hill. Okay, I'll give it a 6. I'm not gonna die on this hill. I'm not gonna fight with you guys over 0.5. You know, I'm not. I'm just not. There's other hills to die on later on. I'm not. I'm gonna go crazy for 0.5. I'm not.
All right. So since I said thumbs in the middle, and I was about to give it a 6, yeah, I gotta go thumbs down. I'm giving it a 5.5. I have to go lower than Romeo. I'm giving it a 5.5. It's a thumbs down show. JJ.
So, wait, what is the thumb scale? Because I was about to give this up.
I always go 6.5, 6, and that is thumbs in the middle, and then anything. Yes.
Oh, so oh my bad. I got to change my stance, and my thing is thumbs down because Raw for me was a 5.
That's a thumbs in the middle to me. Below a 5. Below a 5 is a thumbs down.
It's out of 10, sir. What the
That's
fuck? Are you talking
but like,
what school did you go to where a 50 out of 100 is that's average. That's thumbs in the what?
6s to 10s are thumbs up, so you can watch it.
That's
Thumbs
why
in the middle.
That's why I was
5s.
asking. Like I needed to understand the scale because I was thinking thumbs averages. All right, I'm average. I'm thinking
5 is
down
like
is
literally
lower
the
than a
middle
5.
of 10. Yeah.
That's what I
always
thought.
go.
That's why I
I
wanted
always
to ask.
go a pass. I went to Catholic school, so a passing grade was anything above a 65. So that's when I go thumbs up. Thumbs in the middle, 65, 60, and then anything below 60 is a thumbs down. I go with 5.5.
I'm thumbs down then. I'm thumbs down because I'm going 5. Mine's a 5.
Oh, Romeo, you kill me. You've
Catholic.
really been on one today.
0 to under 4, 0 to 4, terrible, thumbs down. 5, it's in the middle, thumbs in the middle. 6 to 10, good to great.
One school. I want to talk to your parents when you got a 50 out of 100, and they said, you know what? That's
okay.
Look at your thumbs in the middle,
That's
son.
okay. That's
okay. That's
Thumbs in the
okay.
middle, son.
That's okay. I bet your ass ain't getting no new sneakers that day.
I bring an F. Thumbs down.
You get a D. You get a D. She's like, oh, you know what?
These thumbs down. These are thumbs down. To me, a 5 is like a C.
50 out of 100 is a D.
It's in the middle.
C is 60. 60 to 70 is a C. Oh my God!
Thumbs up.
I can't. I'm not gonna debate this. I gotta move
60 to 60 is a thumbs up.
Is that Romeo here with the sniper, man?
Thumbs up.
Romeo, who is your MVP for the show?
You got 130, 33rd chance of having a good thumbs up show.
MVP is El Grande Americano and Jimmy Uso.
I'll go El Grande Americano for MVP.
Jimmy won a match, hyped up Jey, and slapped the shit out of Gunther. Now he's going to be LVP next week, though, when he gets his ass kicked.
JJ.
Damn, this is a hard MVP because I don't know any stars in this fucking show.
El Grande
Americano. You know what? I'm gonna say El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say El Grande Americano because he showed out. Showed out.
LVP for the show. There's a lot of options here. Yeah, I'll go with Jey Uso. I go with Jey Uso. No. Romeo.
Chad Gable showed up to work sick and got his coworker sick without a mask.
This nigga not even
and a doctor's note
today.
Yo, you are gonna die on that hill.
Oh my God. Oh man, this was Romeo putting up a triple double for hilarity on this episode. So thank you to Romeo, thank you to Top Guy JJ, thank you to all of you in the chat. I had a great time. This is by far our longest episode ever, and I think we used the time well. JJ
for a mid show.
No, I always say Romeo, be careful. I always say we always take longest with bad shows more than good shows. Bad shows are usually the ones where we go long.
Not a bad show.
You ramble. And you have totally Steiner math the grading system in school. Don't even start, JJ. Let everybody know where they can follow.
Nowadays, they pass these kids for anything. 60s passing nowadays. Pass anything.
God, here we go again.
That's why we had to get rid of the Department of Education.
Oh my God.
On Instagram, you can find me at @TrueHeal_Top Guy JJ. And on the YouTube channel here, you can find me. I think next week I should be able to make it here. Hopefully on time if I don't get no fucking emergency calls. But yeah, I should be back here next week. Tuesday. I got Tuesday off, so I should be good to roll again next week. Hopefully we have a better show to talk about, so it's a little bit shorter. But I don't think unless Jey Uso has another one of those weeks, then I guess it'll be back to what we do. because Jey Uso, you know what? You were out of VP, but you made this one hell of an episode.
Oh my God, Jey Uso, Maxine Dupree. I've never. Oh, Romeo.
Yo,
Yo,
Maxine Dupree reference.
Romeo
Let everybody
Damas.
know where they can follow you.
Romeo Damas, all social media. Every Tuesday here, being the truth teller, breaking things down, explaining the Jey Uso storyline. Here I am.
I can't with this guy. Follow me on the Twitter machine.
That is why I like this show more than you guys, because it's Jey Uso single-handedly. That's the reason. If I felt the same way about you guys,
MVP? Why wasn't he your MVP then?
Why you ain't keep your thumb up?
what?
Why you ain't keep your thumbs up? You changed your position.
No, I had a thumbs up the whole way.
You gave us 60.
You gave it a
MVP,
six.
no MVP. Well, I lowered it. I lowered it because I'm not going to die on this hill.
Six.
I'm not going to die on this hill over 0.5.
I
did it to appease everyone else.
My bad. He got the Steiner mat. So
Let me give back to the people. Let me show. I'm not going to go argue over 0.5. I'm not. A star rating, maybe. Not on here. Not a raw rating.
You know, a passing grade in school was a 65. That was barely passing.
Used to be.
Yeah,
Nowadays,
I want to talk about today's school.
Yeah.
I want to talk about today's school.
We got to change with the times.
Passing's like a fucking C is a 45 now. Like, the fuck?
Dumbass kids.
You've seen all the places to follow us. I'm not even going to say it. I'll be back tomorrow, 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time, to review Dark Side of the Ring Season 6 premiere with Miss Chrissy Love. So join us live, 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time for that. So join us for that tomorrow. But for Top Guy JJ, for Romeo, it is me.
They think I'm trolling. This is how I feel. They think I'm gaslighting.
Fucking lying.
You really think I'm lying? Why would I want to lie so I could be here for 2.5 hours?
Lying.
Why would I want to be here for 2.5 hours?
Rated Raw review number 60. I am going to ruin wrestling, and Romeo ruined this show. We love you guys. See you next time.
I'll just agree and be done.